Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. John Massoni and Josh Grant here live from DRV PNK Stadium in Fort Lauderdale for today's matchup between the Apopka Blue Darters and your Venice Indians. It's the 8A State Championship. John, how are we doing today?
We're doing great. It's a beautiful day today. A nice little breeze coming through here. The way the stadium is configured, I don't think the breeze is going to hurt us too much because it's very sort of steep in the manner which the stadium is. So I think they're going to block some of that wind. It may affect a kickoff or something, or a punt particularly, but I think as far as the passing game is concerned, it should be okay. But what a beautiful venue this is. I mean, it really is a good site for an FHSAA state championship game.
Home of Inter Miami CF, 18,000-seat stadium. They're part of the MLS and owned by David Beckham. It was a really nice night last night. The team got here early yesterday, had a great send-off at Venice High School, went down to Cardinal Gibbons, practiced at 1 o'clock, did some team bonding, had some dinner, came down here to watch St. Thomas win last night, and then went to bed. And this morning, it was all business. From the moment they woke up until the moment they got here, all business. This is a business trip for them.
It is, and I've had the good fortune, Josh, and I tell people anywhere I can, when you see what Venice football is really about is when you are traveling with them. It's yes sir, no sir to everybody that they see. It is on time for meetings. The itinerary is down to the minute when it comes to being on time and being places. Expectations are high to be a upstanding citizen as well as a good football player, and you see it. It's unbelievable, and I was actually happy you got a chance to kind of get a view of that, to get a feel for what it is. And you know that I know how I feel, but I know you probably feel the same. Very comfortable in the idea that this team is prepared to play this football game today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last night was fun, but even then they were locked in, they were focused. You guys had good dinner. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. But got a chance to sit with the guys and watch St. Thomas recruit us, play, and win their 7A state championship. And today, from breakfast, it was dead silent. They were focused. I've never seen a group of kids eat so much.
Well, that's normal. I mean, I can say this team's they're good eaters, but I've seen better eaters or worse eaters, however you want to look at it. But no, they are hungry to play football. They're fueling themselves up. They're hydrating. Anywhere you went, there wasn't a bottle of water in your hand, somebody was sticking it in your hand, Gatorade, you name it. So they're prepared. They're ready to go. I will tell you this, as far as the matchup's concerned, Josh, I think this is going to be a very competitive game today. Apopka's been there, done that, let's say, whereas in a lot of other cases, some teams get here for the first time and they'd be a little overwhelmed. Venice has the history as well of being in the state championship a few years ago. So looking forward to it. It's been a really, really fun couple of days, and really now the fun really starts.
This is the third state championship game in school history. 2000, a 77-14 win over Dwyer in Gainesville. The Indians still hold records from that game with most points in a state title game and most touchdowns, 11 touchdowns, 9 rushing and 2 passing. Talk a little bit about that game, John.
Well, I had the good fortune of being in the press box for that one too, Josh, and what it was is that you looked at it and on paper, that was the game that a lot of people thought we were the underdog. If you looked at that game, because Dwyer came in with a D1 quarterback and some good D1 defensive players, but that was another one of those teams that had that laser focus. They were not to be denied. They played so well the entire playoffs against some. Some teams that were just unbelievably good. Lakeland in particular that year, and Manatee was one of those teams as well. But great team and great players, and it was just a juggernaut. It was a wave. Once it started, they couldn't stop him, and that's back when we ran the veer, which is a very old style of offense, even for 2000.
Was Bartram Jail at Camping World Stadium in Orlando. Quarterback Bryce Carpenter, who just finished up his senior season along with Javon Hiley in their bowl game last night, had 4 rushing touchdowns, and Zach Sessa kicked 3 field goals. And I remember being on the field and filming for that game. What a completely different atmosphere, 60,000-seat stadium, and it was freezing. What do you remember about that game,
Yeah, that's
John?
one thing I did stand out. I remember telling people when they were coming up that day, bring a jacket because it wasn't that cold in Venice. They were like, oh, yeah. I said, no, it needs to be. And it was a cool day. But that day in particular, again, I'll go back to the focus of the team. I go back to that look in their eyes, that feel that they knew they were going to do it. They couldn't be stopped or wouldn't be stopped. And they were absolutely on target the entire game. Got into a really, really, really good fast start. Bryce and Javon, we're hooking up here and there. And again, the defense. We talk a lot about offense, but in both cases, in the state championship game in 2000 and down to 2017, the defense had a tempo a lot of that and gave the ball back to the offense in good situations. And we went on to roll in that game as well against a very talented Bartram Trail team.
So enough about the past. Let's talk about the present. How did we get here? The Indians are 13-1. They've won 6 in a row. The only loss came to Cardinal Gibbons, and we've talked about that multiple times, 28-22. And in the playoffs, the Indians have defeated 4 teams with a combined score of 195-35. Plant City 55-7, Riverview 56-14, West Orange 49-7, and Columbus 35-7. The interesting thing about the Indians is they haven't needed much from quarterback Ryan Brown in the playoffs. He's done well. He's managed the game. He's done what he needed to do at times. But this rushing attack in 4 games, 1,044 yards and 20 touchdowns on the ground.
And again, like you had said, with Ryan Brown, he has been very efficient. If one thing that's been standing out to me in the playoffs, he's looked more comfortable in the playoffs than he looked in a lot of the regular season games. And
100%.
That's when you say, like, so, something may have clicked in with him. He seems to be really focused in. Seems to be understanding his role. Again, every player has a role. Quarterback is a leader first, obviously, and a guy who you want to be able to make some plays when needed. But you're a facilitator as well. And what the weapons that the Indians have this year in regards to the multiple running backs, the receivers, and even the big tight end Austin Bray. If Ryan can facilitate the ball and get everybody involved and his numbers are efficient and he is mistake-free, and you're looking at a state championship.
DJ Escort, 347 yards and 6 touchdowns. Jamaris Wilder, 333 yards and 4 scores. Alvin Johnson, 3 scores, 216. Omari Hayes, to me, while DJ Escort, the offense runs through your running back, Omari Hayes can do so many different things in both the running game and the passing game.
And he is the Swiss Army knife of the group. He's gone to doing some wildcat quarterback for us. He can actually take a handoff and be a running back as well. And slot receiver, like you said, he can be spread out wide. He can run tunnel screens. He can run posts. He is everything you need when you need it. And so Omari has been a fantastic addition. But I will tell you this. Going back to our initial comments about the team and the focus and everything else, Omari has become an immediate leader in the locker room.
Absolutely.
His poise, his attention to detail, his focus on what he knows the team goals are. He seems to do it in a very sort of 2021 manner, if that's sort of a phrase I could use. Those guys respond to him when he talks, and you can see it. And it's been a welcome addition and been a bright light on the 2021 season. Lots
of talk about the offense, but let's switch our focus to the defense, who in 4 games has 21 sacks. Lots of pressure from that front 4. 8 against Columbus a couple of weeks ago. Damon Wilson with 4, McKalen Clayton with 2, Jack Huber with 1, and George Phillip in that game. And I really want to focus on Damon Wilson is an absolute stud. He's been a stud all year, but he's really kind of turned it on in the playoffs. And over the season, 14 sacks, 80 tackles on the year, and 19 tackles for loss, and really fought off a lot of double teams in the season. Earlier in the season, has figured it out now, and it's just wreaking havoc in the offensive backfield. So I'm going to linger on this topic here for a second, Josh, because if you want to know, the defensive line is special, and I'll say that today, and they are special. There's 5 of them that can go, and you've got Damon Wilson, you've got Trenton Kintai, you've got Colin Atkins, you've got McKalen Clayton, and you've got George Phillip, and each one of them brings their own special bit to the table. I'll start with George Phillip, an undersized in comparison to Damon Wilson, but an undersized defensive lineman, but that mentality, the motor goes and goes and goes and goes. He is just an unbelievable guy. He's around the ball. It's a race to the quarterback between him and Damon quite often, so he's doing his job as well as Damon does. And he's a guy that if I was a college guy, and we talked about this a little bit earlier today, you and I talked about last night as well, hey, there are recruiters here today in mass because this is where the winners are. Absolutely.
And they want winners on their teams, and no matter where you're at. And they're going to look at guys, and I think George Phillip's a guy you look at and say, wow, if that number 11 on their side wasn't there, he'd be the shining star in that group. And he's been fantastic. I'll take the middle 3 in a bunch with Trenton Kintai maybe leading that charge. But McKalen Clayton and Colin Atkins have shown there every bit the talent that Trenton is. But Trenton is a force in the middle. not just from the idea that he can clog it up and take up space. He's a playmaker from that D tackle position.
Right.
Which knock on wood, wherever wood may be around, and hit myself in the head. We've had great success with D tackles, those under tackle kind of guys that can make plays in the backfield. Trenton's that next guy, and he showed today, this weekend in particular, with some of his. He had a little talk about some of the boys and everything else, and he's ready to go, and he's fired up, and he wants this as much as anybody. Colin Atkins has been sort of the guy who comes in and spells those guys. But when he's on the field, though, I'm doing the stat sheet while I'm doing this game today, and I'm telling you, you're putting tackle in a row when Colin's on the field, tackle for loss and all that stuff. And then McKalen Clayton, unbelievably talented young man, 6'5", 250, playing D tackle, and my goodness, the sky's the limit for that kid. If he puts on some weight, that's the guy I'm looking at. If I'm a recruiter and saying, oh my God, 30 pounds on this guy with his athleticism and his will to win, he's the guy. So and finally, and last but not least, Damon Wilson. Damon is definitely, in my opinion, he's the best defensive lineman in the state.
Hands down. He
is. I mean, even today we're on the field. You're doing some videography out there, and I'm talking to people, and there's people like, which one is Wilson? Which one is Damon Wilson? Because these are national press people, statewide press people looking for him because he's the standout. And but Damon is a humble kid, and when he straps it on, he's ready to go. And I think bigger and better things for Damon or for today and for the future as well. And just look at his highlight reel and look at his stat line. You know exactly what Damon's about. And so with that, I can say that's a force. And when you've got that kind of a force on the defensive side of the ball, you're a check mark advantage in a lot of ways. So I think that these guys are fantastic. But I will say this too, skipping over to the other side of the ball, the offensive line, always the unsung heroes of any team.
That's where I was going next.
That team, Josh. I mean that unit in particular. Coach Peacock has said, knuckleheads or whatever they are, he loves those kids because they are a tight-knit group. They work for each other. They work in unison, which obviously an offensive line has to do, and they just do a fantastic job. Naming off those guys, Riley Cleary, you've got John Kiskin, you've got Zach Allen, you've got at different times you've had Matthew Peevely, but you got also David Rainey. And you've also got and Michaela. I'm sorry, MG, which I will attempt to say his name properly for the beginning, but it's MG from this point forward, and it's Makete Guai, and he is unbelievable talent as well. And these guys are just they've been working like a well-oiled machine since about game 5. I would say they really hit their stride and haven't let go or let down at all. And so I think that having those two solid offensive lines or lines in particular with guys to back them up that can do the job if necessary is an unbelievable advantage for the Indians going forward.
Yeah, I mean, being able to be here all season long, they've just gotten better and better each and every game, and we've talked about it ad nauseum, but you can't talk about it enough. The fact how they can come together each and every day and continue to gel as a group. You would think that by midseason they have fully gelled. Absolutely not. They continue to work. They continue to gel. And they continue to get better each and every week. So, John, I want to talk about Apopka in just a minute, but I want to compare the 2017 team versus the 2021 team. How do you see the similarities and differences between the two?
Well, the similarities I see is just the overall focus and toughness of the two teams. They both, similarly. I thought that, looking at the D line might be a little better this year, but the defense in particular, how it operates, how Coach Shannon puts them on the field, and how intelligent they are as football players.
Right.
You got another thing I'm happy you got to see. I just texted all my friends a couple hours ago and said, hey, my favorite part of every game is before the game starts is defensive walkthrough, and watching how they can Coach Shannon will say, line up the guys in the scout team in a certain formation, and how they all move and they all know, and they know the options and they know every little nuance. They're on that field and they know what's coming. They know that, at least within a certain percentage of knowing. They know what's coming, so they can be athletic. They can be to the ball. They can be about form tackling, not about chasing somebody down because you didn't know where you were going. Just all those different situations. This team has that same focus, that same ability that 2017 had. 2017 was gritty. 2017 was they were not about they were prideful, And this team is the same way, but there's a couple of pieces in the puzzle that maybe are a little where you've got these couple of guys that are just they're phenomenal athletes in certain positions that maybe they didn't have in 17. But as far as effectiveness and efficiency, they're the same. Offensively, you've had all these guys on the field that can make a bunch of plays. You had the most prolific passing combination in the history of Venice High School and maybe the state of Florida with Bryce Carpenter and Javon Hiley, an unstoppable combination. I mean, I saw Coach Peacock call plays and say, like, no, he'll catch it. You know, he'll do this. They're going to make the play. Total confidence, and they had total confidence in each other. They were there. I mean, they're like brothers. They went to Coastal Carolina together as well. And so you look at that, and that was such a force in its own that it was everybody tried to stop it, and they couldn't. We saw IMG try to stop it. We saw St. Thomas Aquinas try to stop it, and it was an unstoppable force the way those two played. And everybody, Brandon Gregory, all those guys that played on the offensive line, they fed off that. They fed off. You look at your buddy, this guy's got it. I can only comparison I can make at 56 years old is playing in a scramble golf tournament. A guy is going to make a putt every time, or a guy can bomb it 300 off the tee, and you're like, I got to worry. You're going to go out and do your job. But they are just they were that good at what they did, and they were that those guys. It permeated. They saw everything, and then they knew when those guys were on the field and they were making plays that they were going to win.
So let's get into Apopka. The Blue Darters come in 12-2. 2 losses came this year to Edgewater and Lakeland. They were the 8A Region 1 winners, defeated Creekside, Bartram Trail, Seminole. They needed an overtime to beat Seminole 28-27, and in the state semifinal beat Treasure Coast 21-0. They're led by their defense. They've allowed just 6.8 per game and has shut out 6 teams, including West Orange, whom the Indians beat 49-7. They're led by 4-star defensive lineman Caven Call, who has offers to Georgia, Arkansas, and Auburn, and 4-star cornerback Nakai Martinez, who's a UCF commit. Got a couple of stud linebackers, 3-star Travion Barnes. He's got offers from Arkansas, Indiana, and Coastal Carolina. 3-star Josiah Robinson, who's a Coastal Carolina commit. And as a team, 37 sacks in 14 games. Call, Michael Spain, and Yamir Betancourt with 7 each. Conversely, the Indians have 43 sacks in 14 games. So they're led by their defense. We could see the stats about the defense, but I would like to talk about their offense, John. Their offense, looking statistically, they do have many different formations. They almost run 2 offenses, but kind of pedestrian.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times a lot of teams they'll have a certain style of play. I think Apopka keeps it close to the vest, allow their defense to play gritty, tough football, gets the ball back to the offense, and then they sort of grind you down. They wear you down, and that's a recipe for success in a lot of cases in high school football. 48 minutes in the game is all you have. You grind 6-8 minutes off the clock, and then you give back and you score points and let your defense kind of beat everybody up. It's a recipe for success, and you're right. Multiple formations. I was impressed in pregame warm-up at number 1, Andrew McLean, at quarterback. Bigger than I thought he was from what I saw on film, and a nice arm. Looks like he throws a good ball. So he's definitely one to be to contend with when they do go into the passing game as well as the running game. He's a runner as well. And then also another guy in the passing game to watch out for is number 4, Quincy Frazier. Coach Peacock mentioned him numerous times to me about how this guy is every bit as good as the one guy we saw from West Orange and a few other people. Really talented.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's talented as well. But the one thing that stood out about the offense that, again, has been a bit of a concern and a lot of film study on is their single wing that they run, where they're going to run very, very sort of exotic, if you want to call from in this day and age, where they're running the ball with multiple people running different directions and multiple ball handling situations. So that's going to be I think the big focus is to see how effective they are with that part of their game on offense. If they can be effective in the running game, it does put a stop to a lot of what Venice wants to do on the offensive side of the ball.
So those listening to today's broadcast on Venice Indian Football, you can purchase a ticket from the FHSAA for $9.99 and watch their broadcast, which is brought to you by Spectrum Sports. I put the link in the comments section a couple of minutes ago. Click that link for $9.99. You can watch the full Spectrum broadcast or stay with us here on Venice Indian Football, Facebook, Twitter, and the YouTube VTV news station for today's broadcast. If you see any comments in the chat box about other streams, do not click on them. Once again, they're scammers trying to steal your information. You don't want to do that. There's 2 streams available, this one and the one brought to you live from the FHSAA. We'll be right back with the coin toss and opening kickoff. You're listening to the 2021 FHSAA Football State Championship game, brought to you by Venice Indian Football. All right, back here on Venice Indian Football, Josh Grant and John Massoni from high atop DRV PNK Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. What an absolutely gorgeous facility to be able to call today's 8A state championship game. And I'm looking out in the stands, John, and wow, the Venice faithful showed out today.
We showed up all right, and this is a testament to everybody in Venice, and we know you're listening back in Venice as well. I just told Josh, I said I got some people already telling me we sound good, everything looks good, and we can only tell you how good it looks here. Shout out to my bowling friends, Brianna, Molly, Daryl, Larry, Jamie, Mickey, everybody out there. We know you're listening. Lenny, I know you're listening too. I just heard from you guys. So awesome. You guys are just doing – it's wonderful to know that we have thousands of people here watching this game and hopefully thousands more at home listening to the game.
And listening straight from here and in the chat, Michael Gibbs totally putting the live feed from FHSAA on mute so I can listen to these guys. Great reporting. Thanks, Michael, and thanks to all those for participating in today's broadcast. And wow, you know, just looking out there, if you're listening to the broadcast in the stands, you know, give us a wave, give us a shout, put us a chat in the comment box, and thanks for participating. And again, after today's game, we're going to be putting together a highlight video of this trip. So those who want to send in a video, you can email vtvnewsvhs@gmail.com. You can send it in by Monday at noon, and remember, hold the phone sideways. I can't say it enough. I was talking to some of the coaches last night, and they were joking. Got to hold it sideways. Please hold it in landscape view so we can actually be able to use your video. So, again, thanks to all those for coming out. Apopka has run out of the field to a smattering of applause, and the Indians are ready to come out, and this place is about to go nuts.
So my favorite line used to be when you listen to the team is going from right to left or left right on your radio dial. So Indians are coming out from our right. Apopka came out from the left. We are the home field on the home field side. We're the home team. We're wearing all green today. Green and gray pants. So green tops, gray pants. The Blue Daughters are in white, all white with blue lettering, and so everybody looks good. The stadium looks good. We do probably outnumber the Apopka crowd by about double, I would say, from what I can tell here. So
very similar to the Bartram Trail crowd in 2017, as the Indian faithful showed out in scarves and winter hats that time, shorts and flip-flops today. But either way, we're 5 minutes away from another state championship game, John. I couldn't be more excited. And if you can hear the microphones, that's your crowd getting up for your Indian fans, for your Indian players.
They just got introduced, so they're coming out. So hey, they're getting ready to come through the banner. Cheerleaders are here, bands here. We love when the cheerleaders and the bands are here. They're fired up. Band. I talked to the band director David Wing today, and I told him what a great job they're doing. And you can see he had that sort of palpable first time being here kind of thing look on his face, but I think they're going to really enjoy this day as well.
Well, it's their state championship game too. The cheerleaders and band have been out there throughout the summer getting ready for the season each and every Friday night. Here come your Indians.
Keon Sears with his traditional backflip out of the tunnel, and Indians are ready to roll, fired up.
And man, they are ready to go. That is a confident team down there.
Yeah, like I said, but that's 2 days worth of pent up energy that came out in that tunnel run. They just got to get there. Now they got to calm down, focus up, and we'll see what happens with this coin toss here shortly.
So we'll see who the captains are today for your Indians in just a moment as they get ready to line up. I believe it's going to be Omari Hayes, Logan Ballard, and Damon Wilson, and they're getting in the line now. Again, if you're listening, give us a shout in the chat box. We've got Jeremy's listening from work. Jeremy, don't get in trouble. Scott, like I said a couple of minutes ago, I posted a link in the chat box for you to be able to watch the game through the FHSAA, and don't click on any of these fraudulent links. Anything that is posted that does not come from either us at Venice Indian Football or the FHSAA, do not click on that link. It will steal your information. It's not good for your computer. Do not watch those fraudulent streams. It's not. No, just either pay the $9.99 or listen to us.
Avoid it altogether. One quick thing before we get started here for the coin toss. Turned around, looked behind me, talking about 2017, and I saw 3 players from the 2017 team sitting together. 3 buddies that actually went off to Mount Union College. One of them did, or 2 of them did. But Drew Strike, Austin Moulton, and oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I hate when I do that.
Also see Thomas Schrader down there.
From
Florida State University.
Wes Bolyard. Sorry, Wes.
So the blood runs deep, as those guys graduated, 3 or 4 years ago, but they made the trip all the way down here to Fort Lauderdale to watch this game. And the captains for the Indians today, it's Omari Hayes, Damon Wilson, Logan Ballard, and DJ Escort, rightfully so.
I'll give you a Apopka, too. Number 3, Josiah Robinson, linebacker. Number 10, I'm looking for Anthony Summerlin, wide receiver for them. Number 30, I think it's 30, or 36. Trevarian Barnes at linebacker, and then I'll get the last one. I think number 9, Andre Phillips, defensive end. So Blue Darters are out there again. We'll see who gets the coin toss here, and that's for the Indians. I mean, I've never been a one. It's never been a one way or the other thing where they winning the coin toss meant a win or a loss or a better start one way or the other, because I think both sides of the ball were ready to go no matter what.
And we are high above the playing field at DRV PNK Stadium. I forgot 2 things on this trip, John. I remembered everything but an extra pair of socks and my binoculars. So bear with us as we're looking, as we're directly into the sunlight. Those Indian silver numbers are sometimes tough to see. And, again, Apopka on the other side as well. So we will we'll do our best to.
Well, hopefully a little bit of our 14 game knowledge.
We kind of know what we're
body
talking about
types and positions. We should be okay.
So we're waiting here on the opening coin toss. Thanks again to all those watching. 95 alum Blake listening in from Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Jacksonville, the site of the 1A to 4A state championships last weekend.
Yeah, I know this is going to be something that's a little bit nationwide for folks to be listening and watching. So, and a lot of interest in that.
So as the teams come off the field, they're getting ready for the opening kickoff. It happened so quickly, I didn't see.
I can tell you right now, it looks as though we are going to be on. We're kicking off to start the first half because Kotov is out there to do the kicking.
There he is. So we will receive the kickoff in the second half, and a lot of times that has worked out for the Indians, starting off quickly right after halftime.
It's as if you talk to most of the pundits, they'll tell you that you want to get the second half kickoff. You want to have that in your back pocket to get the possession starting the second half if you can.
Well, and we spoke earlier in the pregame about the somewhat pedestrian Apopka offense. So this is a good chance for that defense to get in the head of those on the other sideline before our Indian offense has a chance to take the field after our defense makes a
there's a lot of, like I said, I wouldn't say it's strength versus strength or weakness versus whatever, but I think with all that aggression and that nervous energy that's out there right now, maybe starting on defense is better because you are kind of defense is not less it's more about effort and energy as opposed to sort of synchronizing everything up on the offense.
So back to receive the kickoff for Apopka's number 7, Keandre Jones. And I believe that's number 21, Nakai Martinez on the near side of the field. Indians kicking off from left to right. In green pants, green tops, gray pants for the Indians. All white on white, blue lettering, blue helmets for the Apopka Blue Darters.
Looks like the wind has calmed down a little bit, so maybe Krill can get this one in the end zone. Touchbacks are golden. I love writing TB in the results comment of my stat sheet with a touchback.
The wind was swirling. It was very interesting because the right and left side, if you look at it's not a typical seating bowl. Each section, the far side of the field, near side of the field, and the end zones are all separated. So the winds kind of swirl around between those sections. So watching Krill was automatic, but it would go from the left to one side, the right to one side. It was all over the place. So now that it seems to have calmed down just a little bit. Again,
there are 2 formal entry gates, and then so there's big gaps in those corners of the stadium, and then of course they've got some gaps where the teams come in from the one side, and then another little sort of atrium on the side that kind of is open as well. And I think we're ready to go now. Referees had held Krill up for a second, and here he goes.
And there's the opening kickoff. Krill Katav will kick it straight down to the 10. That's fielded at the 10-yard line by 21, Nakai Martinez. He'll cross the 30 before he's brought down. The Blue Darters will start on their 31-yard line.
Tackle let in there by Logan Ballard that time.
Yeah, the wind kind of held that one up as it was kind of dead there for a couple of minutes, and as soon as the opening kickoff, we got a gust from right to left. So they were able to bring that one back to their own 31-yard line.
Good field position on the opening kickoff to get into the 30. But Krill did get it high in the air, so the coverage team was down there.
Quarterback Andrew McLean out for the Blue Darters, brother of USF quarterback Timmy McLean. And they'll come out with trips to the right. Nobody at the bottom of the screen. One back to the right of McLean. It's a handoff up the middle. And he's tackled for about 4 yards by Colin Atkins. That's number 7, Keandre Jones on the carry.
Atkins, nice play. Grabbed him by his shirt as he was going by and was able to stop him for relatively good short gain of 4 yards.
Yes, Joey, it is a soccer stadium, the home of Inter Miami CF, DRV PNK Stadium here in Fort Lauderdale.
Nice burst, too. That run by Jones. He showed he's got a little bit of a get up. Here we're going to the single wing right here.
2nd down and 6. McLean takes it. He spins, runs up the middle, but another great tackle by Colin Atkins. Grabbed him by the shirt for the second straight tackle. No gain on the play, and it's 3rd down.
They did a little pirouette in the backfield. Atkins grabbed them, and Michaela Clayton cleaned him up. So that was the 2 D tackles doing their job on that play. They gave him 1 yard gain on that one, so 3rd and 5.
3rd down and 5 from the 36-yard line.
So this is where Apopka's going to have to they got to spread it out now. They're going to have to maybe throw it a little bit or maybe a draw play here to start the game.
2 wide receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. Jones to the left of McLean. McLean will drop back, looking over the middle, and it's tipped away by Miles Weston. Nice
Great
coverage by Weston. And it's 4th down. Good first possession for the Indian defense.
That 2nd down play was pivotal there. It took him out of their running game and made him throw. Receiver, that was number 4, Quincy Frazier, didn't come back to the ball. Miles able to break on and get a hand on that.
Jay Platt back to return the punt, standing on his own 30-yard line.
And this is where again, no jumping off sides. Everybody line up correctly. and let's get that ball in the offense's hands.
Back to punts number 51, Joseph Lenardis.
Let it
The
go.
ball
let
will
it go,
take a
let it
bounce
go, let it go.
right at the 30 before it's picked up by number 15, Rashad Watson. So the Indians will start this possession on their 26-yard line. Again, another wind-driven kick, I guess, or driven the other way, as it was held up there, up high, so Platt was not able to return it. So 10:18 left here in the first quarter. The Indians come out for the first time on offense with quarterback Ryan Brown under center once again.
And here we go. See how fast we're going to go. Brown is actually sprint out, and now Omari Hayes at quarterback.
So Hayes will come out of the Wildcat. It's a pitch back to Brown, who's scrambling around the right side, finds Platt at the 36-yard line. It's going to be a first down Indians. What a play by, that was Austin Bray on the pass, excuse me.
No, it was Brown.
That was Brown, yes.
And what happened was they had Keon Sears sprinting deep, but Ryan Brown got pressured on the play and couldn't get his feet set. But it's actually second and a short one.
Looked like he was past first down yardage, but they'll say he's short. 2nd and 1 on the 35.5. Brown will swing it over to Hayes, who's immediately hit on the 33 for a loss. That's number 27, Malik Nicholson.
Nice play by Nicholson. He read the play grade and stopped Hayes for a 2-yard loss. So now I'd say it's more like a 3rd and 3 for the Indians.
3rd down and 3. Jay Platt down the bottom of the screen. Nobody covering him. Safety will come over now, and it's a run up the middle. DJ Escort close to a first down.
That's going to be real close, and that's close enough for Coach. Oh, they're going to give it to him, but that would have been a Coach Peacock special right there. He would have definitely gone for it on that one.
First down yardage for Escort. 3 yards on the carry. Ball's on the Indians' 36. Bray goes in motion. It's to Escort again over the left side. He gets hit at the 37, but pushes out to the 40.
That was 21, Nikai Martinez. He came up and hit him at the line of scrimmage, and DJ Powell threw him for 4 yards. So that's a good sign, because I saw the game against Treasure Coast. 21 was making all the tackles.
Quit Brown fires to Omari Hayes at the 45.
He's gone.
Hayes is gone 30, 25, 20, foot race, 10-5. Omari Hayes puts the first points on the board for your Indians.
I couldn't even look up from writing down 4-yard gain, and I see Omari Hayes going downfield with a great throw from Ryan Brown for 60 yards and a touchdown for the Indians.
A perfect slant from Brown to Hayes, and once Hayes hit the 40, he had one defender close to him, but no one was going to get Omari Hayes, and it's 6-0.
It was almost as if he was kind of like, well, let's see how fast I have to run on this one, and then he finally figured I'm not going to play around, and he ended up getting about a 2-yard head start on him.
Krill Katav will come in for the extra point. 5 plays in, and the Indians with a lead. The kick is up, and it's good, and with 8:54 left here in the first, it's 7-0.
Got to get that. That was a little slow on that extra point there. 21 almost got in there to make the block, so they got to get a little quicker on that set with the ball and give Krill a chance to get it up in the air a little quicker. Just a heads up, I got a little note from Randy, my brother-in-law in Venice, and he said we're about 10 seconds ahead on our broadcast on the TV, so it's all right as long as it's good news, right?
I mean, you couldn't get much better than that. I mean, if you remember, Columbus was about 10 minutes behind us.
No doubt. They were definitely struggling on that day.
So 7-0. 5 plays in, 8:54 left here in the first. And there's Omari Hayes, the Swiss Army knife, like we called him.
Yeah, he was quarterback at one play. He was playing slot receiver one, and next thing you know, he's catching a slant down the middle of the field and taking it home for a 60-yard touchdown run. See if this wind affects Krill again, and if coaches adapt to that, maybe they'll do a pooch kick here. We'll see.
And there it is from Katav. It's short.
It's more directional, but a little better.
It's fielded at the 8 by Martinez. He's across the 25 to the 30. Nikai Martinez across the 45. Elliott Washington has him right at the 50. So a good return by Martinez. Brings him out to the Indians' 49-yard line.
Nice blocking on that play. They kind of got a little hole, and Elliott did his job, man. He definitely stayed. So I got an injured Indian on the play, too.
An Indian down on the far side of the field. Can't quite see who it is.
Trainer Steve Bennett over there going to go and see what's wrong with our player over there.
And we talked about it in the elevator. We didn't talk about it on the show. It's warm down there today. This is only the second time the Indians have had to play during the day all season. Again, the Gibbons game was also at 1 o'clock, but
I can't see the number.
yeah, it's hard to see who's down on the far side of the field.
It's definitely either it's somebody that's I guess you would call it. He's got white gloves on. He's getting up. Arm. Oh, it's number 31. That's backup linebacker Kenny Dercier. So he again he's holding his arm. Looks like he might have hurt his wrist or something. But he's walking off the field in his own power.
Well, that's good as we watched St. Thomas suffer from some leg cramps last night during their 7A state championship game. It was a beautiful night last night. Today's a little bit warmer, so I hope the players have stayed hydrated. And we don't even have the player off the field yet, and Apopka's already in motion.
They've started at the Venice 49-yard line after that nice run back. But that's what you say about a touchback. Touchback, you get touchbacks. Those plays can't happen, and athletes can make plays, and they're in their single wing.
First down and 10 from the Indians, 49-yard line. The snap is to 21, the running back, but he's good for a couple. 21 is Martinez. That was actually 29. Excuse me, Zeldrick Roberts.
Looked like
a gain of 3 on the carry sets up a 2nd and 7.
Castaway and Washington again on the tackle, but it was the whole center of the line who got in there and made a play.
Second down and 7 on the 46. And Apopka taking their time.
Well, they're going to slow it down. This is how when we score, it kind of dictates the tempo of the game, and they're going to try to slow it down. They don't want us to get the ball back again that quick. Again, very exotic formation here.
And it's a handoff over the right side to McLean. He fires out of bounds. Deep at the 15. That was an interesting formation, John. Tell us more about it.
It was. And they sort of ran with a quarterback who was sort of split out a little bit, and then number 7, Jones, handed it back off to him, and he threw down deep to number 88, Bryce Harrison, tight end, but he was double covered by Sage Utsi and Elliott Washington.
So 3rd and 7 from the 36-yard line.
But that's what I mean. It's about being sound. It's about with the defense. It's about being in your position. They know what they're going to do out of some of these formations, but you know that they're going to come up with something exotic that they haven't done all year. They mean it would be silly not to, especially when you have this sort of an exotic offense.
Venice faithful getting loud. It's McLean going to drop back. He's got to move in and out of the pocket, and he's hit by Damon Wilson from behind. He fell forward, so it's a gain of 2, but it's 4th down.
Actually, no, he actually lost some yards because he was at the 46 and back to the 48, so a 2-yard loss, and that will count as another sack in the stat line for Damon Wilson.
So Damon Wilson, first sack of the game for the Indians defensive end, and it's 4th down and 8, and they're going to punt. Punters line up on their 40.
Good punt. Got the wind at his back.
Excellent punt. Platt's all the way back to his own 3 into the end zone, and Jay Platt nowhere to go. Tackled at the Indians' 5.
And he fumbled the ball on top of everything else. Wow. That was a mistake on Jay Platt. He should never have fielded the ball, and he should never have tried to run it out. Just a bad play. Got to know where you're at on the field. Got to be paying attention. I know you want to make a play there, but wasn't a good situation. So a punt and then a fumble by Platt, and Blue Darters are in business at the Indian 5-yard line.
Ends up being a huge offensive play for the Blue Darters. Indian defense really held them back again, showed why they are the dominant defense. But unfortunately, a special teams miscue now puts the Blue Darters inside the 5-yard line.
And going back to that single wing, which I think they're going to run a lot right here. Just putting power football against power defense. And That's 29 again, and he is running and moving and doing whatever he can to get to that goal line. He's going to be about 2 yards short.
He was hit at the line of scrimmage and just kept on pushing. So it's a gain of 3. Sets up 2nd and goal from the 2.
And I got to give a tackle to the entire left side of the defense. You got Phillip George and DeSavion Castaway leading the tackle over there.
So 2nd down and 2. And Keandre Jones in the Wildcat. It's going to be right to 29.
He's in this time.
And that is a touchdown, Apopka. Touchdown, Blue Darters with 6:13 left here in the first.
All right, so, looking at it from this perspective, it's a play where you're trying to make a play on that punt. So you just got to get refocused. You're going to get the ball back. And you're just gotta match the score on that one.
Got to come back out and forget about it. Let that one go.
That's number 43 in the kick.
Andrew Kennedy in the kick for the Blue Darters, a left-footed kicker.
And it is good.
The kick is up, and it is good. And with 6:13 left, the Blue Darters have tied it at 7. Rights to this broadcast of the state championship game in the 2021 FHSAA Class 8A football championships have been granted to Venice Indian football by the Florida High School Athletic Association and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of the Florida High School Athletic Association is prohibited.
Like we said, now, so your turn now. You're back on offense. It's a 0-0 game right now, if you want to look at that from that perspective. This is the feeling out process, and we're done with it. We're done. Right? We're ready to roll. And momentum is on their side right now, so you've got to go and steal that momentum back as fast as possible and assert your dominance, or whatever, how you want to put it, your assert yourself and see what you can come up with.
And again, lots of comments in the chat about streams. Do not click on them. Stay here. The only video stream authorized by the FHSAA is put out by them. It's $9.99. So any of those streams that you keep seeing come across the chat box, I'll try and get rid of them as quickly as I can. Please do not click on them. Please do not click on them.
Yeah, because they're not here.
They're not here. No, they're
they are not
some
here.
Weird place that you don't know where they are.
Because I always will say that security was pretty tight about where you could be with a camera and all those things. So you got to make sure those folks are not here.
There's the kickoff into the end zone. Let that one go.
And again, with the wind, so we have seen a little effect with the wind again in the kicking game. So the punt that was fielded by Platt it got him a little off target because it got him going backwards, and he fielded it, and that one kickoff sailed into the end zone. So we had a short kickoff. That they got up to the 49-yard line. So wind is going to play a little bit of factor in the kicking game.
So 1st and 10 from the 20. 5 plays in on the last drive. The Indians put one across the board. There's DJ Escort on 1st down. Escort past the 30 to the 40. Tripped up at the 45. And had he not been tripped up, DJ Escort likely would have been in the south end zone.
And that was number 21 again, Antoine Robinson, strong safety, making the play. 28-yard gain.
Ball is on the 48-yard line of the Indians. Escort goes in motion. It's a keeper by Brown. Good for maybe 1.
Yeah, it's a 1-yard gain, but it's a keep you honest play right there. You know what I mean? You got to make sure they know that Ryan can run. He's a very effective runner, faster than people think. He's a long strider, so I have no problem with them trying to see if Ryan can get open with 1.
Brown will have to scramble out to the right. He's got Platt on the near side. Tries to make a move inside. Has to go back outside. And he's good for about 4.
Nice play by
5.
Ryan Brown. He was pressured off of his left side and rolled to his right and made a nice throw to Jay-Sean and made a gain on the play. So it'll be looks like
4-yard gain on the play.
3rd and
Sets
5.
Up 3rd and 5. And we've got a timeout of Apopka. We're going to take a timeout up here in the booth. You're listening to the 2021 FHSAA Football State Championship game brought to you by Venice Indian Football. Sportsmanship is having pride in your school, your team, and yourself. Sportsmanship is respect for the game and those who play it. This message provided by this station and the FHSAA. We're back here live from DRV PNK Stadium.
There we go. It's the jump off side and see if we get the 5 yards we need for the first down. It might be a little short based on the mark, but we'll see.
As Brown brought the offense up, that hard count, Apopka jumps, and we might be half a yard short. Yeah, half a yard short.
So we're going to go 3rd and
a foot and a half.
1, although it's really a little bit less than 1. It's all right, though. See what we get out of this one. I think a DJ escort run is due right here, and it is.
Escort around the right side. He's got first down yardage, pushed out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Good for a first down.
Robinson's going to be busy. Again, he made the tackle on DJ because he's the last guy in the line of defense when DJ's getting around that corner.
Nice little counter as he took the first step inside and went outside. Ball's on the 37. It's Hayes in as the Wildcat quarterback up the middle out to the 32-yard line.
If you hear him say ooh and ah when Omari runs the ball, because you see him pop out and he's close to breaking it, but he got a 5-yard play right there, 2nd and 5.
That's escort around. He slipped on the grass as he tried to make a cut inside, but tripped up a little bit, tackled at the 29-yard line, so 2 yards short. Sets up a 3rd and 2.
Great field conditions here at DRV PNK Park, but there's a tight grass, so you can slip a little bit on it when you're trying to plant.
It's Hayes again as the Wildcat quarterback. Good for a first down out to the 26-yard line. Injury update, Kenny DeRizier out for the rest of the game. Unfortunately went out, I think, on the first possession. Tough for DeRizier as a senior to go out early in the game.
Good special team player for us.
So 1st and 10 on the 26-yard line. Escort goes to the left of Brown. He's got trips to the top. Austin Bray in the middle. It's a swing pass out to Hayes. One cut on the inside. Good for a couple.
He kind of ran into Austin Bray because Bray was blocking, and then Amari made the first guy miss and kind of breezed into Austin there. But that's a 3-yard gain. No problem with that.
2nd and 7. Escort up the middle.
Nothing there on that one. Good play. Interior of the defensive line looked like a little linebacker. That's number 36, Travion Barnes with the tackle.
So
gain of 1, so 3rd and 6.
3rd down and 6 on the 22-yard line. Brown rolling right. He's got open. Sears in the back of the end zone. Touchdown. Wide open for the touchdown. Keon Sears.
Keon Sears, a little guy, and he got kind of behind the guy, and they lost track of him in the back right corner of the end zone. So,
what a throw by Ryan Brown as he rolled out to the right, jumped, and just put it exactly where Sears was standing. What a throw, and what a catch by Keon Sears, and it's 13-7.
And again, poised, rolling out to his right, and made a beautiful throw in the corner of the end zone. It's easy to overthrow Keon.
Yeah.
He's a little guy, but he did a good job and put it right in his hands, and touchdown Indians.
So Katav comes in for the extra point.
Oh, low snap.
The snap is low, the kick is up, and Katav puts it through. And with 3:14 left here in the first quarter, the Indians pull right back ahead, 14-7.
Merrick Houston with a nice job of getting that low snap, putting on the tee for Krill, and he got that extra point through nice and easy. You know, it's not easy to get that whole center snapping thing. You just go out there one day and say, let's just try and see how we can get all this timing down, everything else. So a lot of credit to those kids. They work hard at it. Got the good chance to sit down at dinner with the whole crew, that crew, and we were talking about the nuances of all that stuff. So I'm glad that they had a good opportunity to make an extra point there after a not so good snap.
What a throw by Ryan Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, that may have been one of my favorite throws of the season. 10 plays, 80 yards, 2:59 off the clock, and a 22-yard touchdown pass to Keon Sears.
And I just noticed one of our coaches, he took both Michael Peevely and Merrick Houston aside and kind of gave him a little pat in the back and, tighten it up, but good job, So that's good to see that they're coaching those guys up to make sure they know that they appreciate the effort.
There have been, you talked about it, you mentioned it, there has been quite a few times where Brown has overthrown Sears, not to the fault of Brown, but he's got a couple of other tall receivers. Sears, one of the shorter ones, and he put that one right on the money.
And that wasn't his first read. They saw them jump the route. Now we're going for the pooch, which I thought was going to happen at some point in time.
And it's fielded on the 20. One move to the outside. That's 21 once again, but he's brought back to the 20. And he's fine. He keeps on moving. That's 21, Martinez again.
He is a tough guy, man. He's a runner. There's no doubt about it. And that was Sir Wilson, along with two of our special team aces, backup linebackers, Dylan Smith and Dominic Wood, making the tackle.
And you ready for this? We have our first international listener, David Kenny, listening from the UK.
That is nice.
He was here in Florida most of the season, but had to return for Christmas. But thank you, David, for joining us here on Venice Indian Football. We've had, well, actually our second. We did have some Canadian listeners earlier in the season.
Okay.
But what time is it over there? It's got to be there,
6
what,
hours,
6
5 hours difference. Yeah, I think it's maybe 5 or 6. So I'm sure he'll tell us.
Prime time listening for David. Apopka takes over on their own 21.
Oh, they moved.
And they shifted. It's a false start on the Blue Darters. Backs them up 5. So again, not much going on offense. Luckily, the mistake on special teams by Jay Platt really gave them the opportunity to score, but we haven't seen much from the Blue Darters at all on the offensive side.
No, that's awesome. They got momentum back on after that play.
And Colin Atkins gets the first man
with
through.
him,
He's
Colin.
chasing him back. That's number 7, Keandre Jones around the right side. Sage Utsi on the tackle on the far side of the field at the 30. Atkins was the first man through, but Jones was able to just slip away. It's close to a first down. 9-yard gain on the carry sets up a 2nd and 1. But Atkins has really done a good job at penetrating that offensive line thus far.
He has. So Jones is just, he's spinning and moving and running. You know, he's doing a heck of a job, and they're in the backfield, and that bodes well as the game moves on. If he stays in the backfield, eventually Jones is not going to get away from him every time. There's Jones again.
Jones again on the carry up the middle, good for first down yardage.
Michael Phillips on the tackle.
At the 33-yard line.
Michael, the everywhere guy. He's just a football player, that kid. I like watching him play.
First down and 10 from their own 33.
That's their first down of the game.
2 minutes and 3 seconds left in the first quarter.
Stat of the quarter.
There you go.
So, because again, we the short field after the turnover, and no first downs before that. So,
another international listener, John, listening from Toronto, Canada. Thanks, John.
Awesome. Good to hear. We got Indian fans
all
globally.
Apopka slowing it down again.
And
it's a reverse to Keyshawn Jones around the right side.
It's that inside handoff. That's a staple play on the single wing, and that was Damon Wilson holding his position and making a tackle for a loss of 1.
Finish it off. The ball's at the 32-yard line.
Another shout out here. One of my football. Nancy's out there, and so Nancy listened to Josh and I today, coming in loud and clear in good old Laurel, Florida.
So 1st and 10 on the 2nd and 11 on the 32. Excuse me. There's a run around the right side. That was Jones again.
Jones trying to, there's a little fake handoff, and Jones kept it. And again, Damon Wilson out there with Miles Weston to make the tackle.
40 seconds left here in the first quarter. In the 2021 8A state championship game.
3rd and long, 3rd and 9 for the Blue Darters, and definitely not a situation they're comfortable with. See if they go to a conventional spread or something where they got the quarterback in the backfield. I think that's where they're going with it. Keeping Jones in as the blocker. Watch out for Jones, something out of the backfield here. I think they would like to go to him if they could. Oh, that's movement right there.
We've got a lot of movement on the bottom of the screen. The near side official calls it false start on the Blue Darters, so 3rd and 9 goes to 3rd and 14 as he just kind of fell forward.
And I will say this, there's some crowd noise on this side of the field, and the receiver that was Summerlin was down here, and I think he couldn't hear the snap count. He got a little jittery with that crowd noise. So keep it up, Indians fans. Keep that crowd noise cranking.
And there goes the first quarter. The clock runs out before Apopka can get the snap off. Indians lead 14-7 through one quarter of play. You're listening to the 2021 FHSAA Football State Championship game brought to you by Venice Indian Football. We'll be right back. Second quarter about to get underway. We flip the field. Apopka with the ball on their 29-yard line, 3rd and 15. Josh Grant and John Massoni here on the call from DRV PNK Stadium. Thanks for joining us. First pass of the game.
My goodness, he's out of bounds.
Way out of bounds as it was caught on the 50.
Pressure in there by Damon Wilson. Hit McLean as he was throwing it, and Miles Weston kind of lost track of the ball because the ball fluttered out of his hand and almost caught it in bounds, but fortunately it did flutter out of bounds.
So it'll be 4th and 15, and they'll have to punt once again.
So here you go. You got Jay Platt back again. Now this time the wind should be working against the Apopka punter, so maybe he needs to be a little up further and see where it comes of it. Another
international viewer, John from New Zealand. So England, Canada, and New Zealand, and, of course, all the fans from Venice Beach and the Comus, Laurel, and all around Florida. Thanks for watching. What a
total shank.
And it went out. We'll see where they spot it. Indians coaching staff are pointing at the Apopka 45. But the officials are saying it went out at the Indians' 44-yard line. So 1st and 10 from their own 44.
That is a absolutely terrible mark.
Yes.
Because it was 5 yards out of bounds when it hit the 44. So, all right, we'll take it. You know,
just more room to operate.
If that's the worst thing, I'll take that.
Omari Hayes in at the Wildcat position. It's Alvin Johnson on the carry up the middle. Good for maybe 1 on the carry. Give him 2. Sets up 2nd and 8.
Little change of pace getting Alvin in the game here. More of a slasher. DJ more of a your one-cut power guy.
Alvin Johnson, that was his 26th carry of the postseason. He's got 3 touchdowns. Omari Hayes up the middle across the 50 and a couple more. He keeps on moving. Good run by Hayes out to the Apopka 49-yard line.
That was actually a little pop pass to Omari. Kind of pivoted and went back towards the other side of the field and picked up 5 yards on the play.
3rd down and 3 on the Apopka 49.
And again, with Amari going back into the shotgun, Wildcat quarterback. Oh, bad snap.
Bad snap. Amari is gets back to the Indians 49, so he loses 2 yards on the carry.
That was a snap where maybe Ryan Brown catches it right in his hands, and Amari had to jump for it. So Zach Allen trying to go with different quarterbacks, a loss of 2. So Venice is lined up to go for it.
4th and 5.
Let's see if Coach wants to get him to jump a little bit here or if he's actually going to run a play. Timeout, Venice. Smart.
Today's game in the 2021 FHSAA Class 8A Football Championships is sponsored by the Florida High School Athletic Association. The FHSAA is a democratic organization with a membership of more than 700 middle and senior high schools, all committed to ensuring that Florida student athletes can compete fairly and equitably in an educational environment. The Florida High School Athletic Association, building leaders through teamwork, sportsmanship, and citizenship.
Kind of trying to do a little stat adding up here. We got a little timeout on the field, and I'll get that to you here in a second, Josh.
So 4th down and 5, 10:21 left here in the second quarter.
And we got that. So, yeah, they're going for it.
Hayes comes in motion around the side. He fakes it to Hayes. He's got Platt across the middle. Jay Platt for a first down and more. Down to the 38-yard line. What a play. And the Indians are moving once again.
Well-designed football play right there. You fake to Amari. You get Jay coming down with one of those tunnel screens. And first down Indians inside the Apopka 40-yard line.
They say he went down to the 37. It's Hayes Wildcat again, but he's hit quickly for no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
They're sniffing out that little Wildcat offense. So again, if they're zeroing in on Amari that much, there's going to be somebody else who can maybe get wide open. Maybe a pass out of that or something along those lines.
Hayes moves back into the slot. It's a little flip to Hayes. He comes around the left side and he's hit once again at the same point.
He's a little hesitant now. He's been hit a couple of times, and he didn't hit that hole with authority. Kind of saw the guy there and stopped himself in his tracks. So he's got to get a little more aggressive on that one.
Give him 1 yard, and we've got an Apopka player down on the far side of the field.
He was looking to get out of the game and finally just kind of fell down as he was walking off the field. All right, stat line where we got a timeout right here. Indians rushing in the first quarter, 9 carries, 53 yards, led by DJ Escort with 6 carries for 44 yards. Ryan Brown 6 for 6 passing, 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Two receptions for Jay Platt for 13 yards. Amari Hayes 3 catches, 65 yards and a touchdown. And Keon Sears 1 catch for 22 and a touchdown. As far as the Apopka Blue Darters are concerned, 0 for 2 passing, 10 carries, 29 yards. And again, the touchdown was on that short field. So it's a competitive football game, but statistically, the Indians do have the advantage. But we know what statistics get you. Nothing. So we'll see.
So 3rd down and 9. Scoreboard says 3rd and 10. It's 3rd down and 9 from the 36-yard line. Alvin Johnson in the game at running back. Hayes goes in motion to the right. Brown's looking for Platt on the quick hitch out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
He's going to be about 2 yards short, but that's okay. Now you've opened yourself up to going for it on 4th down here. Wind at your back, but again, I know Coach he's not about to try to kick a 46-yard field goal in any situation.
You got Hayes in the slot, Sears at the top, Platt at the bottom of the screen near side.
Plenty of time on the play clock, 23 seconds. So the coaching staff is kind of trying to drop a play while they're in formation right here.
4th down and 2. And it's a run by Johnson right up the middle. I think he's short.
He's short. Looks like they didn't get a good push off the ball, and they blitzed the safety on the play, and he had a little bit to do with the play. But again,
Martinez came in hot.
Yeah. I will say this, though. I mean, I know it was Alvin's turn out there, but I might have run DJ Escort back on the field. He's got that bulk and may have been the guy you would want to see on that short yardage game. But nonetheless, turnover on downs.
Indians turn it over on the 28-yard line.
And that's a big win for the Blue Darter defense. We've been sort of doing what we wanted and put us in 4th down plays twice on that. So making us work harder and making us grind clock to do so.
8:27 left here in the second quarter. So 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. It's a run up the middle. That's number 2, Keyshawn Jones, for his first carry of the day. Good for 3.
Michael Phillips and Colin Atkins come off the bottom of that pile with help from George Phillip.
On the 31-yard line.
Gave him 3 on that one. And again, that's a staple play in that single wing where they kind of run that guy almost out of a wing position, hand off in the inside, and he try to kind of runs counter to what they're doing, and those little guys are hard to see. Both Joneses are hard to find.
It's another run right out the middle, direct snap. That's number 29. That was Roberts again up the middle.
That was Logan Ballard with a great tackle.
A gain of 2. It's 3rd and 5. Thanks to all those in the chat box. Much appreciate the comments. Glad to be here with you at DRV PNK Stadium for today's state championship game.
And see what they are going conventional. They've got McLean lined up in shotgun with Keandre Jones to his right. Jones in motion.
Jones goes in motion to the left. McLean was looking, but he's being chased by Wilson. And he's hit at the 35.
Short. He's short. Castaway.
About 3 yards short.
Nice open field tackle by DeSavion Castaway. McLean almost got away there for a second, but he was running more laterally than forward, and he picked up 3, and he leaves him a good 2 yards short of the first down.
4th and 2. And if you're a Apopka, you have to bring out the punt unit here.
You would think.
They have not been able to do anything offensively against this Indian defense, but they're running out of chances here in the first half, trailing by 7.
And again, punting into the wind. Last time he shanked it. Let's see what happens this time.
Well, here's the direction change now. The wind.
And I still think that Jay is too far back, and we got to delay a game penalty against the Blue Darters.
So it'll back him up 5.
So that takes any sort of drawing him off sides situation kind of out of play. And that I say that because the Indians were playing punt safe there. Indians are calling timeout. They try to run their punt team on because they're playing punt safe. And Coach Peacock had to burn a timeout because I don't think he felt that live personnel was on the field.
First timeout of the afternoon for the Indians.
Actually, second.
Second timeout, yes, you are correct. 5:48 left here in the second quarter.
And again, so far, I mean, it's sort of, like I said, it's, again, a feeling out process. 2 very good football teams. Now you've seen a quarter and a half of Apopka. I mean, you got to see that they're solid. They block well. They run hard. They got some guys who can make plays. Like I said, 21 Martinez. He's definitely the real deal coming up from that safety position, and special teams ace, as we can see as well. So definitely a team that deserves to be here and playing in the 8A state finals.
And look, it's 14-7. You know, the Indians have been done really well on offense, but they're only up by 7 right now in the first half. Omari Hayes back to receive the punt on the Indians' 35-yard line.
And there they're squeezing him in a little bit. See, they're trying to get Indians maybe to jump a little bit, but not happening. And you let that go, or yeah, there you go. Fair catch it. There you go.
Hayes will catch it on the 36. So with 5:41 left here in the second quarter, the Indians will start their 4th drive of the day. Hoping to put another one on the board as they will receive the second half kickoff.
Now we'll go back to the running back sort of rotation they've been doing. Let's see if they go with Jay Maurice Wilder here in the second quarter to keep DJ. I know that'll keep him fresh. He only had 6 carries in the first quarter, but nonetheless, it's 6 stressful carries. And Escort is back on the field, so they are going with the senior. Are we in a water break? We must be.
We are in a water break.
Okay, we're because I'm saying I see referees getting water, so water break's not just for the players, Josh. It's for the referees too, and they're doing a good job today so far.
Yeah, they're letting them play. That's the big thing. They're letting them play. There hasn't been much of anything called thus far. And
Coach Peacock always says 2 good teams. they didn't get here because they're sloppy and they play bad. So you'd hope that they don't want to jump in and be a part of the game.
Hayes goes in motion. 1st and 10 from the 36. He'll come back across the middle. Brown hits him. Good for maybe 1. Maybe forward progress gives him 1 yard.
And again, Amari sort of shifty and going, but he ran right into the arms of the big defensive tackle, and they're going to give him 2 yards on the gain.
So 2nd and 8 on the 42-yard line, or 38-yard line, excuse me. Brown will give it to Escort up the middle across the 40 down to the 38. So 4-yard gain sets up a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, so again, there's DJ. He can move the pile a little better than Alvin. He's a bigger guy, but like I said, that both of them are effective in their own manner. Interesting to see what Coach does here. He goes shotgun again with Amari and splits Ryan Bryan out to the right. Going to run with Amari.
Amari over the left side.
He's going to be a yard or maybe 2 short.
2 yards short, and it's 4th and 2.
Yeah, a good solid 2 yards short.
And the Wildcat is very similar to the offense that Apopka runs, and the defense has snuffed it out thus far today.
Bringing the big tight end, Omar Bilal, into the game. So see what happens with this one. Or Bilal Omar, I'm sorry, you got the name.
And Apopka has to call a timeout, as I like the matchup on the far side, as it was Sears one-on-one with one of the linebackers, and if they would have been able to make that play, Sears may have toasted that linebacker, but Apopka saw it, called a timeout to reset his defense. You want to take a water break, John? Let's take a water break.
We'll take one
here in the
ourselves.
booth. You're listening to the 2021 FHSAA State Football Championship, brought to you by Venice Indian Football. Water break is over. We're back on the field. 4th and 2 from the 44-yard line. Josh Grant and John Massoni. 4:17 left here in the first half. Indians with a 14-7 lead.
And again, they're going Wildcat with Amari Hayes, who's making DJ go over to his right side from his left. Hard count, and now Coach Peacock calls a timeout. So we're back. We're going back-to-back timeouts. We have no more timeouts left in this half. Again, first half, I get it. They're trying to get a look from them. I think that was one of those plays where you say, okay, let's line it up, see what they do on defense. If it just doesn't work, we're going to call timeout and figure out if we're going to punt or not here. So we'll see. If something was there, they would have ran it fast and they would have tried to get something quick where they're catching them off guard. But I think you're going to see a punt here, guys. I don't think you're going to see the Indians go for it on in a game like this on 4th and 2 this early in the game, especially with a 7-point lead.
Lots of people listening on Venice Indian Football Facebook, Twitter, and VTV News YouTube channel. Mark Litweiler says, "Hey, John."
Hey, Mark. How you doing? That's an old high school buddy of mine, Mark. So good to hear him listening. I know he's a former Venice football player, wide receiver for us. Had some, maybe he still does. Mark had some good hands as a wide receiver back in the day. So good to hear from Mark.
I wonder if we have at least half the states listening today.
Well, are we gonna? We've
gone
got
international.
Multiple countries, so I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible. I'm waiting to hear from some of my. I got family in Colorado. Maybe we'll hear from them, and they are going to punt. They just ran the punt team out. Merrick Houston, back to punt for the Indians.
First punt of the day for Merrick, and it's a pretty good one. As number 27, Malik Nicholson can't fire. As 21. Martinez can't find it. It's going to bounce all the way to the Indians' 13-yard line.
Merrick got a little pressure on that one, but he stayed calm and got it out of there quick, and it was a good punt. So back inside the 20, which is always a good result for any punter. You want to keep them back pinned in there. So it's he's down inside 37. That's a 43-yard punt for Merrick Houston inside the 20. So take that all day.
To the Apopka 13. So the Apopka
Correct.
Blue Darters started their own 13-yard line. 4:07 left here in the first half.
See if the defense can make a play. And they've been solid so far, but I mean, let's see if they can jump in there and make a play. Turnover will be really nice right here. I mean, if you get a turnover and give your offense a short field for a change, We'll see what happens. But they're going to come out. You know they're going to run it here unless they got some. This could be where they dial up a play. You'll see what happens. Inside run.
It is a running play right inside to the 16-yard line.
And that's Jones again. And I saw George Phillip and Logan Ballard in the interior line of the Indians making a play there. So everybody contributing.
Give them 2 yards on the carry. Sets up 2nd and 8.
And the Blue Darters here, this is, effectively running the clock down. There's 24 seconds left on the time clock. They are blowing in a little slow with that massive pile of blockers that Apopka seems to be running with. So nothing too quick. They can run 3 minutes off the clock just by running the ball 3 times here, and then giving the Indians little time in the second quarter to get another chance to score.
It's a high snap. That's number 7, Jones, around the right side.
Damon Wilson out there with help from his friends.
Looks like he loses a couple on the play.
Wilson and Utsi, there's a combination. You got your safety and your DN making a tackle on a run play. Love to see that hustle to the ball, and it was a loss on the play.
They are all over the place. 3rd and 9, 2:50 left here in the first half.
I will say I thought Jones missed a chance to cut that play up a little quicker, right about at the numbers. He could have picked up maybe a 3-4 more yards, but he kind of bounced it and sort of got trapped by Damon and Sage. Almost said Kale, his brother. That's an old memory there too.
From the 14, they got a pass again. It's tipped by Wilson. In the end zone. He drops it.
Oh,
Damon Wilson.
Goodness.
Tipped it up. Had it
in
his
they got
hands,
it. They gave him a touchdown.
And they gave him the touchdown. Touchdown, Indians.
I can see it because we have the replay here. We can see it on the board, but he had it and then it was knocked out of his hands. What a play. What a break on top of it.
Here's the replay. Damon Wilson.
He's got it.
There it is. He caught it, made a football move, got knocked out, but they give him the score, and it's 20-7. Wow.
Wow. Let's get the Krill real quick.
Yeah, kick it up.
We're kind of getting ourselves together here, but Krill, Katoff, extra point, a very important extra point. Good snap that time. It's down, and it is good.
Right down the middle. And with 2:21 left, it's 21-7.
Right, so those of you now watching on the FHSAA feed, so pass out to the right side. Damon jumped up, hit it with his left hand. Ball went up in the air. Damon ran over it, caught it, made a 1 or 2 step move in the end zone, and then the quarterback knocked it out of his hands. The referee was right there, and his call was interception, touchdown. So Damon Wilson with a big play and a huge play. I might have called it there, Josh.
You did. I'll give you that one.
I might have called one in the state championship. What do you know? I didn't expect that, but that was one heck of a play by Damon, and we're coming to expect big plays from Damon.
21-7 lead.
So now the
what
Indians,
a play.
Indians kick off again, and kick off now with the win at your back. So maybe you're going to kick this ball in the end zone this time, and then we're going to start with a touchback, and then Apopka will be in bad field position again.
So Katoff is in for the kickoff, and the wind blows the ball over, so they'll have to reset. As now it's blowing from right to left again. It seems to die and then come back. Yes, Damon Wilson is a beast, Mark.
No doubt. Again, see if Krill can get this thing in the end zone. Right down the center, man. They're spread out crazy, and they kick it short.
Yeah, it's a pooch field on the 5.
Looked on purpose that time, and there's blockers in the middle again. I don't like the way it looks.
And that's a good return out to the 35-yard line.
That's Dominic Wood on the tackle. Good block by good tackle by Dominic.
Well, Anthony, I wouldn't call that one a gift, as that was an outstanding play by Damon. He did take 2 steps, and it was knocked away. So technically, by the rules, that is a touchdown. So, I wouldn't call that one a gift. I would call that a great play by an elite defender.
And I will say this.
And an accurate call by the official.
And so here's what I do like about the play. If you call it, he called it decisively. It wasn't a hesitation. He put his hands up right away, and then of course we're looking around because we see the ball on the ground. But he never wavered from his call. So I'll take that either side of the ball if they're gonna be decisive in their call.
So the Blue Darters come out on offense trying to figure out this Indian defense.
And they're coming out throwing.
And it's a deep pass. He's looking down the middle. No, it's over to the near side. Picked off by DeSavion Castaway, but he'll say he's out of bounds. As he was looking down the middle of the field, first read was down the middle, had to make another read, lofted it up, and Castaway caught it. Unfortunately, he was maybe a foot out of bounds.
I think whoever got control of the ball, they're both standing out of bounds. DeSavion was just a foot on the line, though, but the receiver was definitely out of bounds. Great play by DeSavion. And I think I've mentioned in another broadcast before, Coach Shannon's always, telling DeSavion, get your drop. And that time he was way downfield in his drop. So good play by the outside linebacker to be downfield like that.
2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line.
Pop's got to be careful here. They don't want to throw it around too much, giving the Indians more time to get their offense back on the field. McLean on a run here.
McLean over the left side. There's a flag on the play. The run right now looks like he's good for about 4.
That's a holding call. That's almost always in that spot where that umpire throws that flag in the middle of the field. Or it could be hands to the face. You never know. See what it is.
And again, all these streams that keep coming up, please do not click on them. I'm trying to delete them as soon as possible. Do not click on those illegal streams. It is a hold on Apopka.
That's a spot foul, so it'll only be an 8-yard loss. So it'll be 2nd and 18 for the Blue Darters.
From the 27-yard line. 1:58 left here in the first half. Indians will receive the second half kickoff.
And again, they're 3 wide out to the right here.
That's a run up the middle, and he's got some
room. Very nice play. Jones on a nice little run.
Hit at the 38-yard line.
Ballard and Utsi on the tackle.
Won't gain all of it back.
But you
sets up a 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, 3rd and 7.
1:24 left here in the first half. Time ticking away, and Apopka in no hurry.
No, I'm telling you, they're looking to get back into the locker room with a down 14. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised with another run right here. Maybe McLean keeps in it, or again another run to Jones where they've got him spread out deep. And there's a quick pitch out to Jones.
And it's Jones around the 40.
Get him out of bounds. He's out of bounds. Oh no, she's keeping the clock running. So Savion Castaway on the tackle.
Good job by Castaway to square up and make the tackle. Unfortunately, he stays inbounds. Indians with no timeouts left. 31 seconds of the play clock. Play clock and game clock differential about 11 seconds.
So 4th and 3. Now, I'll say this. If I'm Coach Peacock, in which I've been mistaken for Coach Peacock before because they watch us on TV and don't know who's who. But anyway, I'm not. But I think with getting the kickoff starting the second half, I think you field this punt and maybe you take a knee and go in with a 14-point lead.
Play clock down to 5. Game clock at 14. There's the kick. It's a line drive punt. Platt will
let it go.
Pick it up on the 21.
I fumbled it again.
Out, recovered by Apopka with 3 seconds left.
I don't understand what he's doing.
Trying to make a play.
Yeah, but dude, there's no play to be made.
None at all.
There's no play to be made.
So luckily for the Indians, the wind is blowing into Apopka.
Yeah, but this is one of those chuck it up in the end zone situations. Don't understand that. So
you got to let it go. The clock's going to
let it run around.
Away.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do.
So the ball's on the Indians' 29-yard line. Apopka one last play here in the first half. Do you try to kick it? Do you throw it in the end zone? Do you try to get the field goal? You try to get some points, or do you just throw it up in the end zone to see what you can do? There, it was clear out.
Well, how good is your kicker I mean, that's the question right there. I don't even think you come after the kicker in this case at all. I mean, if they're gonna kick a 40-something yard field goal, and they take their time and they're calling a timeout here. So we'll see. So 1st and 10 at the 29. So I don't know. I mean, you're gonna make a play. So now they're putting John Anthony back. I think he's going in the game too. This is where you got to be really careful here, guys. I mean, you're gonna take a middle linebacker out. You can do certain things.
You got to let that ball go. You got to let that ball go.
Yeah.
That's twice today. You
and listen, I'll tell you
mistake.
what. You don't want to make anybody feel bad or whatever. But I think at the rest of the game, it's got to be Amari Hayes' job to be the punt returner. Just, hey, you know what? It's not your day today. It's no big deal. Go win it someplace else for us. So we'll see. They're going wide. They got guys wide. I don't like the defense looking a little bit confused. They got a free release downfield. See if we can get a sack on this play. I'm just going to run it.
And they're going to run it right up the middle. Good for a couple.
All right, no harm, no foul there. So we're good to go. DeSavion Castaway with the tackle and a 3-yard gain for McLean, and we take a 14-point lead.
And we head into the locker room with a 21-7 lead. What a first half for the Indians. Near perfect first half on both sides of the ball. A couple of special teams miscues, but that will be corrected in the halftime break. The FHSAA is now on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Tweet us, like us, and tag us on your social media platforms by searching for FHSAA. Keep up with teams and people who strive to make high school athletics in the state of Florida the absolute best. Be a fan of it all by following us on social media at FHSAA. We are going to take a break up here in the broadcast booth. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. It's water and bathroom time, John, as we have been been locked in this booth since
we're
since
hydrated too. We are hydrated.
Yes, we are absolutely hydrating.
With the football team, you're hydrated. That's for sure.
So go ahead and take a break to hydrate yourselves out there on Facebook, Twitter, and the VTV News YouTube page, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes with stats and first half reaction. You're watching the 2021 FHSAA 8A State Football Championship game, brought to you by Venice Indian Football. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. back here at halftime as the marching Indians out on the field. They sound outstanding down there with their 80s routine that they keep getting better and better each week. Your Indians now at half with a 21-7 lead. John, tell them about what happened.
All right, so basically, if you look at this game, it's come down to a couple of turnovers that have really been pivotal on both teams. Again, the Damon Wilson interception near in the end zone, and then the fumble by Jay Platt on the about 5-yard line for the Blue Darters. Other than that, if you look at taking those two plays away, which are obviously pivotal plays, it's been all Indians in the first half. I'll go through the stats with you real quick. First half stats: Indians rushing 16 carries, 61 yards. Not your typical Indian, first half as far as rushing, but effective. DJS scored 7 carries, 48 yards. Ryan Brown 1 for 1. Amari Hayes 6 for 9. A little surprising he's not getting off the ball a little bit right here, but they're keying on him. They know 2 weeks to prepare for Amari Hayes. They know he's the guy. And then Alvin Johnson 2 for 3. Ryan Brown. I mean, so if you looked at this game and said he's been very efficient managing the game properly, 10 for 10, 128, and 2 touchdowns. That's
pretty good.
Really good. Nothing you can say wrong about that. Receiving wise, Jay Platt 4 catches for 34 yards. Amari Hayes 5 catches, 72 yards and a touchdown, and then Keon Sears 1 catch, 22 yards and a touchdown. A very well designed play and a great throw by Ryan Brown. Blue Darters 0 for 5 passing, so there's no yardage there, and 18 carries for 56 yards. What you can see what the Blue Darters have done is they've slowed this game down. We have run 26 plays. A few games back, we had run over 50 plays in the first half. So, again, slowing it down, keeping the tempo where they like it. But unfortunately for them, they're really not putting any offense up at this point, other than the one running back Jones, he's been elusive and a tough little runner for sure.
And that's why they definitely are winning. Let me turn my mic on. Sorry, they're definitely winning the time of possession right now, and that's why the score is only 21-7. While they haven't got anything going on offense, they've been able to chew up that clock and effectively keep the Indians' offense off the field.
Yes,
absolutely. First drive of the game was score 5 plays in. And then, they just have not had a whole lot of offensive time on the field.
No doubt. And like I said, in the defense, an exotic. I call it exotic. It's just one of those old time offenses it's a line of scrimmage dominating, time consuming way of running the ball. Very sort of handoff and misdirection laden. And the Indians have been doing their job. They've been staying in their positions. Handling themselves very well on defense, so you can't no complaint there. And then in regards to the our offense, again going back to what we're saying, Indians can just keep on doing what they're doing right now. So try to play mistake-free football. I think they're gonna come away with a win here. Just a matter of doing the right stuff and staying focused and not getting too far ahead of yourself.
Thanks to all those listening out there. We've got them at Ramblers Rest RV Resort, Mark and Wesley. We've got fans at Joey D's. We've got fans listening in the Seating Bowl. These fans down here, I just had a chance to walk down into the Seating Bowl. They're hot today. They are ready to go. They are excited, and they are really enjoying what they're seeing here at DRV PNK Stadium. Yes, Scott says we are going to party tomorrow night.
Well, it's just a matter of time. We'll see what happens. Again, we have to just stay focused. This is not a team to fool with at all.
No.
I saw one a Pinehurst, North Carolina fan. I was looking over your computer a little bit right there. So others are out there, and then a couple of guys in Venice, Charles and Randy, they just texted me and said, "Give us a shout out. We're here watching the game, looking good, listening to you, and watching it on TV, which we like to hear. That's for sure."
All right, so we're going to take our final break before the third quarter gets underway. You're listening to the 2021 FHSAA Football State Championship game brought to you by Venice Indian Football. back here on Venice Indian football about 2.5 minutes before we get the third quarter underway. Josh Grant and John Massoni live on the Venice Indian football Facebook, Twitter, and VTV's YouTube page. And, John, we alluded to it in the pregame show. You and I both got a chance to see it today. But the offensive and defensive walkthroughs for the Indians today are really paying dividends to see the different types of looks that Apopka is going to bring to the table.
So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to be out of position using your overexcitement or being overzealous to get to the ball and going to run behind you, underneath you, move you out of position. And what was stressed over and over again pregame was, hey, do your job, stay in your position. You could have a stat line that says nothing,
right?
But you didn't move, and you were supposed to be where you're supposed to be. You did the right job, and the other guy got the tackle. It's a very things are going to come your way. The minute you start to move, they see that you're the guy coming up field. Then they're going to start running at you. So if you're consistently doing your job, that's frustrating for a play caller. Now we got, hey, so-and-so, now he's moving up, or he did this, or he jumped the play. Let's go backside on him, or let's run this on him. And when they don't see it, it's like, okay, what can we do here? Well, we can pound it, and maybe we can physically move them off the ball, and then that sort of lends itself to being, not as high-powered of an offense as maybe they'd like to be. Now, I will say one thing. Apopka has come back in the second half of a lot of games in this playoff run against a very good bunch of teams. So let's not underestimate that they're going to make adjustments, and they're going to do the right thing, and they're going to come out there and try to do whatever. It's imperative on the Indians to stay as focused for the next 24 minutes as they were in the first 24 minutes. They have to stay focused. Now, I know Coach Peacock said it. I guarantee you that. And I guarantee you that Coach Shannon said it as well to his defense. Just a matter of them believing it and doing their job, and we'll see. I would love to see the offense come out here early and put another 7 on the board.
And Claudette asks, who has the bigger crowd? It is definitely the Indian faithful. We are, John said it, we were in the halftime break. We are corner to corner. We have the whole west sidelines, and we are from one side to the other full of Indians fans. It's got to be 2, maybe even 3-1 versus Apopka. And they do have a little bit longer of a drive, but they showed out today.
They're smattered about a little bit. We can see them pretty clearly from where we're sitting right now. They're kind of all, but they did well. But I mean, Indians are here. You can just hear it. I mean, through our little booth here, through the glass, you can definitely hear how loud our fans are. I think I give them credit for one of the penalties that they had. That receiver was not ready for that snap count. One of the other quick shout out as well. Shout out to my family in Colorado. My daughter Brittany and her husband Matt listening in. They're enjoying the broadcast, and thank them for listening as well. So, again, we've got a Colorado. I'm waiting for somebody to text me maybe from Arizona to see if that comes in. So, and I know all this, too. Quick shout-out, to all the alumni of Venice High School, okay? This is we're hoping that you can see this through our eyes. This is for you and everybody else, the parents of all the players and anybody who's been associated with Venice High School in particular. We wanted to give you a broadcast, a little bit of a hometown broadcast today. We are gonna be excited in certain situations, but this is all for you guys, and hopefully you're feeling our energy and feeling this energy from this crowd and from this football team. So this is for you guys, and hopefully you're enjoying it so far.
And we got 24 minutes left in the season, John, and it has been an absolute pleasure to call nearly every game. John's been here for every single game. I missed one, but John comes in on play-by-play and has done an outstanding job, and I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else, John.
I appreciate that, Josh. And it's been fantastic having you here, because now it's like having a pro up here teaching us amateurs a few tricks, and I'm getting better because of you, so thank you.
And there's the second half kickoff. It's short. It's going to be caught at the 10. That's Omari Hayes. That's Keon Sears. He's hit at the 25 and pushed back. So 15 yards on the return. The Indians will start in their own 25-yard line.
And that was close. On that tackle, they did like I call it the suplex move if you're a wrestling fan. But they didn't. They kind of held him up. If they would have driven Keon to the ground, that could have been a 15-yarder.
So they say he was down to the 23, and I love to see it, Claudette. Thank you. I'm watching online while listening to you. So it's great to have those broadcasters on mute, and you're able to listen to us. So thanks to all those for listening out there on Facebook. It's first down run by DJ Escort up the middle. DJ Escort to the 40, tackled at the 45-yard line. And the fresh legs of DJ Escort didn't get much action in the first half because they didn't need him to. Gets the Indians a big first down.
And DJ might have been able to bounce that out to his left and maybe could have gone a little bit further, but he didn't see that opening and took it out to the middle of the field for a nice 23-yard gain. We have an injured Blue Darter on the field.
For the latest official news about Florida high school sports, including results of all rounds in the 2021 FHSAA Football Championships, visit FHSAA.com, the official website of the Florida High School Athletic Association. That's www.fhsaa.com. Catch live and on-demand postseason coverage of Florida high school sports at www.nfhsnetwork.com. Brought to you by the NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHSAA. And thanks to all those listening, we got a report that it is a full house at Joey D's. Are they listening to us? I hope they're listening to us and watching the broadcast.
Either way.
Either way,
it's a full house.
Thanks to Joey D's for being a great sponsor of Venice Indian football. It's been a lot of fun going there after the games, catching up with the fans. And I'm sure, we got a little bit of time left, but there's going to be some excited fans at Joey D's in just a little bit.
That was cornerback number 19, Jordan Wright. He's not putting any weight on his left foot. Not good to see. You don't want to see that in a game like this, but it is a football game, so you're always gonna see some injuries that can happen. So hopefully he's okay.
We've got the Venice Indians wrestling watching.
Yeah. One
of the softball coaches, Brian Crocker, said he would be listening during their tournament this weekend. So all the athletic programs and non-athletic programs, they all support each other at Venice High. It's great to be a part of the Indians family. 1st and 10 on the 46-yard line. It's Escort again up the middle.
It keeps his balance nice on that run. Just got a hit at the line of scrimmage and still managed to keep his balance for a good 7-yard gain for DJ.
And we're going to see a steady diet of DJ Escort the rest of the way. Indians up 21-7. Start of the third quarter here. It's Brown. Swings it over to Hayes, but he's hit him, and they have keyed in on Amari Hayes. If the one person they've taken away this today for the Indians, it has been Amari Hayes.
Yeah, not a great play right there. Just it was almost failed from the beginning, but at least there was nothing more than a loss of 2 on that one.
Kavion Nichols on the tackle. And there's a run by Escort, and he's pushed back a couple of yards.
Another loss on the play.
Yeah, it's a loss. We'll see where forward progress stopped. It's a loss of 2. It's 4th and 6 right on the 50. And the Indians are going to go for it. Sears at the top, Hayes in the slot, Platt at the bottom of the screen. Brown looking for Platt, quick hitch. No, but I think he's short.
No, they should mark out the 43. He should have it by 1 yard. And that was a play they must have been keeping in their back pocket because they saw the corner was playing back on Jay, and they got the first down.
And there it was. They did give him the first down. Good body positioning by Jay as he was able to bring the ball to the right to the 43. So 1st and 10 on the 43-yard line. It's Alvin Johnson on the carry. Johnson up the middle. Good for about 6. 1st and 10, or 2nd and 4, on the 37-yard line.
Barnes on the tackle, and Barnes is good. I watched him. He's trying to strip that ball on every opportunity he gets. He's a good-looking linebacker.
Offers from Arkansas, Indiana, and Coastal Carolina. Travion Barnes, a 3-star recruit.
We got a penalty on the Indians. First one of the day. Okay, so that was the stat I didn't tell everybody. So I'm a little bit of a guy who doesn't want to jinx things. No penalties for the Indians in the first half. That's the first one right there. So a false start breaks that little run there for the Indians of having no penalties in the game. So 2nd and 9 instead of 2nd and 4.
LaShawna, there is no way to watch it without having to pay. Any stream that pops up on the screen, you do not want to click on $9.99. You can go watch the rest of the game on the link that was posted earlier, but there's nowhere to watch it for free. Just stay with us here on Venice Indian Football. Quick screen to Alvin Johnson, and he loses quite a bit.
Anything we're doing that's throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage is just not there. They're just too quick. They read it well. We had a bunch formation to the far side, to the close side of the field towards us, hoping they wouldn't have anybody there, but they did, and there was no chance for that play at all.
3rd and 14 on the 47. They got to throw it here. Brown looking deep.
Wide
He's
open.
got Keon Sears wide open for the touchdown.
That's the second time they got Keon wide open. And Keon, what a throw. I mean, Ryan just put that thing in stride. Touchdown for him. Come on, get the ball to the ref. Get the ball to the ref. There you go. Now do your
Sears
celebrating.
absolutely burnt Martinez for the score.
And it was quick. That ball was snap fast on a 3rd and 14. And again, these are plays that the Coach Peacock knows he's got. He went quick on the 4th down. He went quick on the 3rd down. He knows these plays are there, and he sees the defense he likes and doesn't give him a chance to react.
Katav will come in for the extra point. That's 3 touchdown passes on the day for Brown. 2 to Sears. The kick is up, and it's good. And with 9:05 left here in the 3rd, it's 28-7.
Josh, I always kind of say you can sort of see the fight coming out of the team a little bit. First 3 extra points, number 21, Martinez, was flying to block that extra point. That one, he jogged. And
absolutely.
So I'm not saying that, but those are the signs you start to look at and you start to say, where's Apopka's head right now? Now special teams got to come out. I like to see Krill not kick to 21 anymore.
He's had a couple of good returns.
Yeah, and I will say this, but they are good on special teams. That's another thing. Another point about a good, sound football team. They're not letting it go. I mean, we see some teams will play in the playoffs with no kicker, no punter, no. It's just like it's an afterthought. And you can see these guys. This special teams is far from an afterthought for the Blue Darters.
What a play. 2 highlight reel touchdown catches by Keon. That 4-star cornerback, Nakai Martinez, the UCF commit, Keon has just absolutely toasted on both touchdown plays.
Yeah, and so again, it's a little bit of one of those, they're running a bunch formation, and it's going to Jones.
And it's going to be fielded at the 12. He'll run across the field before he's hit at the 30.
He's just moving
keeps on moving the pile.
He's a tough guy. That's a tough little running back, and he's not a big guy at all.
They're going to say he's down to the 33, so the Blue Darters 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line.
Again, Dominic Wood with help from Jack Huber and Sir Wilson on the tackle.
Lots of great activity in the chat. Thanks to all those for listening out there on Venice Indian Football, Twitter, and VTV News YouTube page. Can't wait to see the final numbers. And again, if you're here at DRV PNK Stadium, send us your video footage. You can send it into the Facebook page or email vtvnewsvhs@gmail.com. Send your videos to us.
Jones is playing a single wing, and hands it off to 4. It's
That's
Frazier.
a run. Quincy Frazier around the right side, close to a first down. He does have a first down.
Chipped up by Washington. Now they're trying to get the ball. That's one of their guys I said before the game that they had said what an athlete he was too, and he hadn't got the ball in his hands in the first half. So just as easy to get the ball in his hands with a handoff, like they did there, and he got a nice 10-yard gain for the first down.
8:43 left here in the 3rd. And you would think, John, that at this point in the game, they have not changed the tempo of their offense. You would think they'd have a little more urgency now, down 3 scores.
I think
just keep slowly going up to the line.
It's sort of how they do it, and they're trying to get their I think they're trying to get their wits about them. It's sort of it is. I can tell you, overwhelming when Venice starts to score like they do.
There's another run. That's 7. That's Jones around the left side to the 50.
Michael Phillips with help from George Phillips. So Philip Phillips.
Philip Phillips.
Yeah.
7-yard gain sets up a 2nd and 3. Eight minutes left here, the 3rd quarter.
Now, I know Coach Shannon, he's got his hands on his hips, but he don't want to see this. He doesn't want to see them come out. He wants his defense to play like their hair's on fire. And so far, the first 2 plays, maybe not so much. So let's see if they get things rolling here on this 2nd and 3.
Apopka is a second-half team, like you alluded to earlier. That's another run inside
right
by
him.
Keyshawn Jones. Jones has a first down out to the 43.
So Yutzi on the tackle. He broke through 2 tackles on that one on his way to a nice 7-yard gain.
On the Indian side of the field for the first time in a while.
or tackle to bring Jones to the ground. McLean is back to the left of Jones, who's doing in the shotgun.
Slow and methodically up to the line. Play clock down to
McLean
5.
took
There's
the
the
snap.
snap. It's McLean looking, firing over the middle, and it's picked off. What an interception by Miles Weston. What a pick by Miles Weston.
He came off his man to make that pick. I don't think he was. That was his guy, but he read the quarterback's eyes. Great job by Miles. And just when I was saying they needed to get a little fire, that is fire right there.
A quick slant right over the middle. Weston jumped the route and was parallel to the ground when he made the catch. Just unbelievable. Miles announcing his commit to Mercer this week. What a pick by Weston. The Indians will start their next possession on their own 34-yard line.
Let's see what Coach Peacock's got dialed up. Him and Coach Mack definitely getting their plan together.
And that's Escort around the right side. He's tripped up.
Gosh, if DJ could just get by 28 Robinson, he would have probably had green grass for a good long gain. Good long gain.
Just touched the tip of his shoes.
Gain of 1. Or actually gain of none.
Yeah, no gain there. And it's Brown looking again.
Run a field.
And he's got Platt a little bit quicker. A little bit quicker with that, and Jay Platt's gone to the house. But it's good for, let's say, 9 yards.
So 3rd and 1. That's a nice play right there to get them 3rd and 1. I see DJ get the ball right here. No,
and
Ryan.
It's Brown going to keep it around the right side. He's got to push forward. What a hit by Ryan Brown.
He's short. They almost horse-collared him, too.
They should have. Ryan Brown lowered the pad and hit the linebacker coming in, who had him around the top of the jersey, but no call, and it's 4th and 1.
The big tight end, Omar, back in there for the Indians.
Amari Hayes in at Wildcat. Escort the lead blocker. Hayes trying to get up the middle, and he does have a first down, gain of 1. Puts him at the 45. They give him 2 on the carry. So 1st and 10 on the 45-yard line.
Timeout for a water break.
Timeout for a water break on the field. We'll take another one up here in the booth. You're listening to the 2021 FHSAA Football State Championship game, brought to you by Venice Indian Football. First and 10 on the 45-yard line. Josh Creighton, John Massoni, 5:29 left here in the 3rd quarter. There's Hayes on the carry up the middle. Amari Hayes for a first down to the 45-yard line. Good run by Hayes.
They're giving him the first down. They gave him 10 on that one, so nice play. Well blocked, too.
Indians on the Blue Darters side of the field now. There's DJ Escort up the middle, good for a couple.
And he keeps moving his feet and he gets that extra yard to make it a 4-yard gain as opposed to a 2-yard or 3-yard gain.
To the 41-yard line.
And tempo is starting to pick up here, and I think Coach Peacock feels like there's something, he's smelling something here, so we're see what he does here. Got a Hayes in the shotgun.
Austin Bray in the slot. Hayes is going to keep it across the left side. Amari Hayes across the 35. Out to the 33-yard line. So another first down for the Indians.
Timeout referees. We got something going on. Maybe they're seeing an injured player.
Oh, there was a cute baby just on the video screen, so it could have been that.
That could have been it. He wants somebody to come off the field. He wasn't acting right or something. I mean, something was wrong with him.
It's Antoine Robinson for the Blue Darters.
And it's a good. That's great refereeing right there. You see somebody you don't sure if he look, maybe he got a little ding, maybe looked a little woozy, and he's like, you got to go. So smart, safe refereeing by this crew.
4:41 left here in the third. Indians driving. That's Escort up the middle to the 24-yard line. And again, continuing to push forward as he was hit. Good for about a 2-yard gain. He was hit. He kept moving forward for a big gain. That's Escort again. And DJ Escort dives for the first down to the 21-yard line.
What I like about that play is he needed to get the first down. He only was second down, but he got the first down. He could have tried to juke somebody. He just dove for the first down and got it, and you're 1st and 10 at the 20.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Amari Hayes in a Wildcat quarterback. He's looking, and nobody can't move. Good pursuit there by number 36, Travion Barnes. And it's a loss of 5. Hayes has to come off the field. I think his helmet came off on that.
It did. Great play by the Blue Darters. They read Omari, and again, Omari's got to realize. I know it's late in the year, last game, but going forwards is the way. Oh, Wilder's in the game now.
Jamarice Wilder on the carry, out to the 22. Gain of 8, sets up a 3rd and 2.
Actually, it was gain of 3.
What was I looking at?
I don't know.
There's Wilder to the 20.
And
I was looking. Okay, I see.
Now it's 4th and 10.
I see where I was looking now.
Yes. I did too. You're looking across the field. I got you.
Well, that's my job.
I know.
I was looking at the yard marker.
Now it's 4th and 10, back at the 20-yard line, and Indians are going to go for it.
4th and 10 on the 20.
See if they're going to jump off sides here. Nope. He's going for the play.
Brown rolling left. He's looking right for Wilder, and it's picked off.
Which was a bad play, but nonetheless, and he hurt himself too. That's Martinez. But that's
Kai Martinez at the 4.
You knock it down there, but now it's the ball's in down by the 4-yard line. Trying to get J. Maurice Wilder on the wheel route, and safety didn't bite, and the corner was underneath, and it was close. I mean, it was a close play, but nonetheless, good play by Martinez. But hopefully he's not injured too badly on this play.
The Florida High School Athletic Association recognizes its corporate partners who help make the FHSAA football championships possible. Team IP, the official merchandising company of the FHSAA. Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Balfour, the official supplier of championship rings for the FHSAA. Spectrum Sports, the official television partner of the FHSAA. Max Prep's official scores and statistics of the FHSAA. GoFan, official online ticket provider of the FHSAA. The NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHSAA. And Wilson, provider of the official game ball for the 2021 FHSAA football championships. And that is the last time I'll have to say that all season.
It's a lot of FHSAAs, but we do appreciate them letting us do the broadcast today, and we got to give them their props. We got to give them their opportunity to thank their sponsors and all they do for all of high school football in the state of Florida, which, in my opinion, is the best.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 on the 4. So after the interception, the Blue Darters take over on their own 4-yard line. And it's going to be a run. That's number 7 again. That's Jones.
That time
but he's hit pretty quickly.
Ramos and Wilson on the tackle.
No gain. Sets up 2nd and 10.
And like I said, that's what happened. I mean, you're making a play. I get that, but that you're better off in that one just knocking it down and taking the ball at the 20 as opposed to doing that. And I was going to, before we get with the break, that was Ryan Brown's first incompletion of the game. He's 15 for 16 now in this game. So great efficiency in the passing game for the Indians today.
And on the 4, 2nd and 10, it's a good run by 29. Nathan Jenkins on the carry, his first carry of the game.
That was Weston on the tackle.
That was Roberts. They've got 2. Excuse me. That was Roberts again.
Weston, Utsi, and Castaway all in on the tackle.
So that's a first down. First time this season I've seen multiple numbers or same numbers on multiple players. Usually you see that in college.
Yeah. As long as you're you're not on the field at the same time. Obviously, that's the key. But you do see that is been a long-standing thing with college football teams.
1st and 10 on the 15.
And again, the Blue Darters are in no rush right now. It's the play clock's down to 7. They may have to call a timeout here.
1:30, ticking down to 1:30 left here in the third quarter. They got it off.
Jones on the carry again.
Jones on the run up the middle. Good for 7.
That would be George Phillip on the tackle.
2nd and 3.
7-yard gain. Again, Blue Darters in the huddle. 1:07 left in the third quarter, and the clock is winding. McLean back in at sort of standing next to Jones. They can snap to either one of them depending on who they want to. See if they try dial up a little pass here. McLean inside handoff.
That's number 2, and he's hit quickly by a host of Indians and brought down hard. Keyshawn Jones on the carry.
That was the 2 DNs on that. That was George Phillip and Damon Wilson. Hit, lift, and drive right there with Will Huff and Castaway.
Well, again, first man through on that was Colin Adkins, but you're right. Adkins is the starter, and the closers come in to finish it off, and it's 3rd and 6.
And Adkins he's been real close to making a play in the backfield all game, but he's disrupting things, which is good.
Yes.
He's causing everybody to sort of not go where they want to go, and then everybody's there his buddies there to clean it up. And this is going to be they're not going to get this playoff before the third quarter's over. So they've run out the third quarter here on this last drive.
And they're just going to let it go, are the Blue Darters. And we go to the fourth, 12 minutes away. It's your Indians with a 28-7 lead. We'll be right back here on Venice Indian Football, Facebook, Twitter, and VTV News. You're listening to the 2021 FHSAA 8A Football State Championship game brought to you by Venice Indian Football. 12 minutes left. We'll be right back. Third and 6 for Apopka to swing out to and he's
tackle.
Hit at
Michael
the line of
Phillips.
scrimmage.
Man, I tell you, that kid is just solid, man. He just gets out there one-on-one with their best back and no gain. I'm probably loss of 4 on the play.
Swung it out to Keandre Jones. Good pursuit by Phillips, and the Blue Darters are going to have to punt yet again.
That's just solid. You can't ask for more than that.
Phillips arguably behind Wilson, the best closer defensively on the team.
Yeah, I agree. And he's sound. He breaks down. He never tries to. He's not a big kid. He just wraps people up and puts them to the ground. That's all you can ask for.
It's a line drive punt.
Let it go.
Sears has to go
Let it
back.
go.
Just let it bounce.
Let it go. There you go. Smart play. Very smart.
And it's down at the 35 of the Indians.
That was into the wind too. That's a heck of a punt by that young man. He did a great job on that one.
Football fans, the best games are yet to be played, and we're playing it here at DRV PNK Stadium.
There you go.
Don't have to do that read.
That's it.
As we are in
and we skipped past that one.
Season finale of the 2021 football season.
I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good. 1st and 10 from the 35. That's Escort again up the middle. Good for maybe one. Good for 1 yard on the play. It's 2nd and 9.
It's all right. Like I said, DJ just sort of a little off tackle play right there. And, the Indians, like I said, right now, the clock is their ally here. So we'll see how fast we're still a tempo team. We're not gonna go slow, but and Brown back.
Oh, and Brown's got Platt open. Platt got him again. Oh no!
My goodness.
Just overthrew him. I saw it immediately off the line of scrimmage. Jay Platt absolutely blew past Kavion Nichols.
And the safety was not coming over.
No, he was not.
Because if you noticed, who's not on the field is number 21, Martinez. So they went right after the guy who is out of the game right now. I mean, that's just coaching 101 right there. So let's see on 3rd and 9 what they come up with. They're going empty.
Hayes comes in motion. Brown fakes to him. He'll keep it up the middle across the 40 to the 42. Good run by Ryan Brown. He's about
gain of 6. He's
3 yards short. Ticking down to 10 minutes left here in the 4th.
This is the thing. Okay, so if I'm looking at the clock. You got 32 seconds on the play clock. Again, I know coaches looking at it, but take your time. What's the rush? You know what I mean? But again, that's not what we do. We play tempo. Trying to see if they get him jump off sides here. So they are taking their time a little bit.
There's Brown looking for Platt. He's got him at the 46, and Jay Platt breaks free. Platt to the 35, 30, 25. No one's going to catch him. Jay Platt for a touchdown.
Listen, that is nice. I'm glad he got a play. He had a tough first half. They went to him, and he made a play. Awesome. Jay Platt, I'm happy for him. Very happy.
A little hitch, and Platt was gone, and it's 34-7. There's the dagger, folks. And I hope you're celebrating at Joey D's because that is the dagger.
So, again, we said looking at the Blue Darters after that last touchdown, we saw a little bit of life sort of coming out of them, and I see it even more so in the defense. They've sort of lost their zest for this game. Their crowd is pretty much looking the same way, too.
The kick is up.
And it's good.
And it's good. And 9:44 left. Start the buses. The Indians with a 35-7 lead.
So it's coming down to the fact that we're just going to have to sit here and watch and see what the Blue Darters are going to come out and do. If they're going to get a little bit exotic, like we said, or get a little bit more conventional, throw the ball around a little bit and let's see what happens. But I think they got it. If they come out and they're running dive plays, I think the competitive game part of the game is definitely over. Try to break a big run or something, but I don't see that being the case.
I know what you're doing, John.
Listen, I have because it's always one of those things. Like I said, I'll give you a little inside thing. So, 2017, I had noticed that we had not had any turnovers like almost the entire season. We had one fumble the entire year, and so Coach and I were doing the TV show, and we're talking about some stats or whatever, and he looked at me and he goes, I know one stat that's a big reason why we're doing so well. And I said, I know it too. And without saying it, we both said, don't say a word. And after the state championship on 17, I went to him in the locker room. He goes, what was the stat? And we both said, no fumbles. And that was the non-jinx moment.
There's the kickoff. We'll get it on the 11.
Back in the field.
And he's across the 30 out to the 32. 9:39 left here in the 4th.
So we're a bit of those superstitious guys sometimes. And for whatever reason, it's just kind of how it is. That was Jamarius Wilder on the tackle on that particular run back. So nice to see the freshman getting out there, not just running the ball, but making plays on special teams.
They say he's down at the 31-yard line. So Apopka will come back out on their own 31. 14 seconds left on the play clock. Man comes in motion. It's going to be number 7 up the middle to the 45. That's Jones again. Good run for first down yardage.
And Castaway on the tackle, and he's.
And we've got a flag.
It might be on the defense. I don't know. It was one of those. I saw Castaway trying to get his guys fired up, and because he didn't like the fact that they broke that run. But we'll see if that wasn't something. Maybe somebody talking a little bit too much, or we'll see what happens here. Neither team is acting in any way, but I think Apopka's moving backwards now, so we'll see. We'll see. Now,
unsportsmanlike conduct on the Blue Darters.
So I don't know if they get the first down, and it should be 1st and 25. Let's see how they mark this, because I've argued with different referee conclusions over the last year about how the penalty should be marked. If it's a dead ball penalty, it should be 1st and 25, which they are marking off as 1st and 25. So that was the proper situation right there. So minus 25.
So 1st and 25 from the 30. The fans starting the "Start the Buses" chant. I know you don't want to hear it, John, but they're getting ready.
I get it. I'm watching that clock down. They're taking their time.
1st and 20 from the 30.
Jones again, and again they're running dive plays. So you may be correct. This may be the competitive part of this game may be over. It's going to be a stat sheet now. Martin Ramos on the tackle. We haven't called Martin's name too much. Maybe that's a good thing, though. That defensive line has been playing stout. But Martin had the tackle on that one.
Give him 2 yards on the carry. He's 2nd and 23.
And I don't know if the Blue Darters just don't have a 1st and 25 or a 2nd and 23 play. They're pretty close to the vest with what they do, and even the offensive line looks like they're just they're moping up to the line right now. I understand it's you're a young man and you're at your state championship, and it's not looking very good for you in the 4th quarter, and it's tough.
8.5 minutes. That's another run. That's Jones on the carry.
That's
across
the other
the
Jones.
35 out to the 38.
Castaway and Weston with help from Kintai. Good to see Trenton out there on the tackle.
Mark, we'll get that information to you in the coming days and weeks. We don't know ourselves, so we'll have to let you know.
What are we talking? You can say. What are they talking about?
No, we're not going to say it, John. 8 minutes left here in the 4th. No.
I've trapped him into my paranoia here, so hopefully we'll know what they're. I pretty much think I know what they're talking about, so we'll see. 3rd and 17, and they're taking all of the time clock. They're down to 14, and 7:40 left in the game. Timeout, Apopka.
And after all that, they let all that time tick off the clock, and they called the timeout. The clock's still running, so we'll have to see where they reset the clock to. But Apopka with a timeout in the field. And it is, the Indians have not been in the Apopka situation of the long bus ride home.
Yeah, no doubt.
So it's going to be it's tough for a young team, like you said, tough for a young team now have to make that long drive home after a game like this. But, you get to ride that bus home. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's everything is fun. I mean, the kids themselves. I will tell you this. Give you a 17 story as well. Bus ride home. You would have thought those kids were going to burst, when they got on that bus. But by the time the bus was settling back into Venice, they were tired.
They're all asleep.
Because it's one of those things where so much energy and time and everything else, and the victory is sweet, and then immediately afterwards you're like, okay,
yep.
I can exhale. The mission accomplished.
14
and
weeks.
Sometimes, yeah.
This team has done something that many teams have not done. They had 1 week, one bye week, basically, and that was the week between the state semifinals and the state finals.
It was, right. You're right.
And it's McLean looking again, but McLean is brought down. George Phillip and a couple of others on the tackle at the 49-yard line. Ramos on the tackle, Phillip and Ramos, and it's 4th down.
And they're going to have to punt. Well, they don't have to, but they are going to punt. With the 4th and 16 again, I just don't know if Apopka has that in their playbook. So yeah, they were again. So these kids are going to be super sky high. It's early in the day, but man, it's a journey, and you've reached the top, and now you're going to savor it, and I think maybe you'll see a little bit more of that energy back in about maybe Christmas Day. We'll see.
There's a snap. It's low. The punt is away. It's an end over end. Got to just let it bounce as it takes a blue darter bounce all the way to the Indians' 15-yard line. What a good punt. But with 6:31 left, 6 minutes and 31 seconds left in the ball game, the offense will come back out on their own 15-yard line.
Yep, and like I said, now you're going to see, again, I think you're going to see a heavy dose of either Jay Maurice or now DJ's coming back out, give him a chance to get out there. If another first down or two, you may see the twos come on the field, which I think is a really cool situation to get the twos out there to run the ball a little bit. So we'll see. Water break, as a matter of fact. Now I think they called their final water break of the day. Weather's been great. I will tell you what, we were concerned about the heat. Now we're in air conditioning right now, so we're not too bad.
We weren't concerned about it.
But no, it's been a little overcast today. I see a kind of a little bit of a rain shower.
It started to rain at halftime.
Yeah.
It started to rain just a little bit as the band came out.
And the wind has been kind of cooling, if you want to say that. So it's been okay. It hasn't been too bad.
Omari Hayes at quarterback on the 15. He looks like he's going to pass on this one. Hayes puts it up for Platt, and it falls incomplete. Just trying to get Omari to get a touchdown pass here.
Again, so you've heard me say before, just run the ball.
Yes, just run it.
Just run the ball. I get it, but you know what? One of the things that I appreciate about Coach Peacock in particular, he has a sort of he looks at the game the same way the kids do in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? He's about having fun. He's about a trick play. He's about getting a guy a run. He's about let's score again. He's about those things that you don't sometimes the coach is the old crotchety guy, whatever he is, but not Coach Peacock. He's going to be jumping and high-fiving and chest bumping as much as anybody else after this football game. You know what I mean? And so I think that's what keeps these kids buying into him, because I think he relates to them in that way, in a lot of ways. And still demands their respect because he doesn't expect anything but excellence. So
and we've got some commenters in the chat box, John. We want Bama and give us the Detroit Lions. Let's call something straight here, folks. This team is great, but
we don't want Bama.
we don't want the Lions. We don't want either one of them. 1st and 10 on the 15. That's Escort on the carry, good for 2. There's a flag that comes in from the back judge.
That could be too many men on the field. Let's count Apopka. 3,
1, 2,
6.
3.
No, back judge. He's throwing it at a spot, so it could be maybe a hold on one of our guys out here. But why would they be holding?
I mean, well, he threw it. He's back on the 45.
Person of foul face mask. Okay, saw that one. We didn't, but he did. So
15 yards gives the Indians a first down. 6:18 left here in the 4th.
Puts the ball out to the 32-yard line of the Indians.
1st and 10 from the 32. Brown in at quarterback, Hayes in the slot. It's going to be a run to Escort up the middle across the 35. DJ Escort keeps moving the pile out to the 39-yard line. What a hard run by DJ Escort.
DJ's got to watch himself. He didn't like something, and he can't get up and being too upset about it.
7 yards on the carry.
If I'm coach, I take him out of the game just to get him to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, John, we'll settle for UMass.
Okay.
John Boyd Reed says, would you settle for UMass? Yeah, we'll go for UMass. Hey, don't sleep on UMass, the former FBS power, or whatever they were, Division II. That's Escort again. No gain on the carry. UMass was a Division II powerhouse in the early 2000s. And now they're awful.
You're right.
3rd and 3 on the 41-yard line. Brown swings it over to Hayes. Hayes has first down yardage and more across the 35, pushed out of the 50. We've got 3 flags. And
somebody saw something.
Something's getting a little chippy, as we've had more flags in the last 5 minutes than we pretty much had all game. So we'll see what the call is. So Ray wants to know who are the offensive and defensive game MVPs, John.
Defensive Damon Wilson, just for the play, that one play alone has been the star from that play. It was a game changer right there. Offensively, okay, it's a hold. So the play counts and we gain a yard on the play. So we'll call it a
3rd and 2.
13 minus 10. So 3rd and 2, you're right, at the 40. I'll give you the offensive MVP in a second.
Escort up the middle, good for a first down to the 45. I'll be honest with you. I mean, every offensive player today has made an impact, but for me, it's 100% Ryan Brown. Ryan Brown has been unbelievable all game long.
So often in these big games, it comes down to the quarterback, and Ryan came through.
And there he is across the 50. Ryan Brown cuts back inside. Hit hard, tackled at the 47-yard line. Sorry, John.
That's okay. No, on cue, he's running the football. But, no, he was 15 for 15 at some point in time. I mean, I'm sure there's records kept on certain things like that, but that's beyond impressive. And he masterfully handled this team the entire way, and good deal for him. He's done really well.
He'll swing it out to Amari Hayes, in and out of the hands of him, just a bit high, and it's 3rd and 2.
So Ryan Brown is the offensive MVP, and again, I know that Coach probably knows the stat line for Ryan or has a good feel for it. But I promise you, when I add these numbers up and we see what Ryan Brown did, there's going to be no doubt.
Same play, swings it out to Hayes. He moves back inside Amari Hayes to the 46, just short of a first down. A lot of effort for a 1-yard gain.
And I think you go DJ here and they're going to give him no gain on that one. So
all right, no gain, 4th and 2, and it's DJ, and he's hit back at the line of scrimmage, so the Indians will turn it over. 3:55 left here in the 4th.
And like I said, you're running plays. Now we know the game is over at this point.
Yes.
So it's just a matter of them running it. I'm sure they're going to get some players. We're going to get some players. On the field, so we'll see what happens here shortly.
Not only do you give Damon Wilson the shout-out, but that Miles Weston pick came at a pivotal time.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That was a huge interception at a time where the Indians up, I believe it was 21-7.
Definitely, I definitely can see that as well. Tackle-wise, I mean, DeSavion Castaway Sr. stepped up with a lot of tackles today. So, again, good game. George Phillip, I'm looking at his stat line, another good stat line. But, again, I think that one play was it was a dramatic point in the game, and Damon was there to make it. 1st
and 10 on the 47. That's a run up the middle by Jones, and he's hit.
Ballard.
And for a loss of 2, Ballard and Phillip on the tackle. Say it's a loss of 1 at the 46-yard line. And, folks, once the game's over, John and I are both going to head down to the field, so the broadcast will be ended rather abruptly. But put your comments out there on Facebook. Put your comments out there in the chat. And we thank you for listening to today's 8A state championship game.
Knowing that, Josh, again, thanks everybody out there. This is another big moment. It is the 3rd state championship for the Venice Indian football team. And going along with all the other great teams we have on our campus and great coaches and great administrators, thank you to our all administrators. Thank you to Pete Dombrowski for being there and kind of helping us through our little cockamamie ideas we have and letting us kind of do our thing here. A lot of people wouldn't allow us some latitude to do some of these things.
And a huge shout-out to Vibrant Aspect Media.
Absolutely.
Who throughout the regular season brings you the best live stream. Forget John and I. They could do it without us. The best live stream in the state of Florida. Francis, Josh, Brody, Rylan, and all the other guys involved with Vibrant Aspect there. Just unbelievable at their jobs. So thankful to be a part of that live stream group. I mean, they're unbelievable.
This crowd's ready to burst and start screaming and yelling. I'm watching Coach Hunter, one of the O-line coaches, hugging his guys down there. Some tears. They're happy. It's a great situation. And I know what they were asking you, when's the parade did they ask about? Or is that one of the questions they were asking?
No, not yet. But I'm sure that's coming here in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we don't know about any of that stuff. All we know is what we know today. And right now it looks good. I mean, this is a good situation. Delay a game on the Blue Darters.
2:09 left here in the 4th. Oh, there it is, David Kenny. David on cue.
So it's a good day. Right.
Any information will come out in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for the Venice Indians.
I think Christmas is probably going to be a situation. This has been the latest that you've seen a state championship. They put an extra week in time in between the semifinals and the state finals. So a little extra time there might have pushed things back a little bit.
It's 3rd and 13, and it's incomplete over the middle. Pass was intended
for the big tight end. I think is it 8 or 9? 8. No, 9.
I don't
Phillips.
have an 8. Yeah, that's number 9, Andre Phillips. 2:07 left.
And I think now if they're going to punt here, timeout Apopka. See if they're going to punt. If they do punt, I think you'll see I see the twos getting ready to go out there. I see Coach Hunter talking to his guys and getting them ready to go out there and do their thing. This is Coach Butler's last game coaching with us. Dave Butler's he's pretty much a Venice High School legend. If you ask if Coach Powell when he was still with us, he would tell you that Dave Butler was the best offensive lineman he ever had, and Dave's been a big part of Venice High School football coaching staff for years, and he's going to retire this year and gonna get ready for his retirement, living in Alabama, and he has got to do some things, and so he's checked out. He asked the boys, like I think it's before the game, if he can get him one more ring, and I think they did for him, so that's a cool deal. And I see Dave and Josh, the two offensive line coaches, sort of arm in arm, kind of having a good moment with each other right there. So trying to give you some of the scenes we're seeing down here from the press box.
4th and 13, and Apopka's going for the reverse.
And
McLean is chased back into the 35. Logan Ballard.
That's right to the very end. They try to run a trick play, and it did not work. Logan Ballard sifting out the guys in the secondary sniffed it out.
1:57 left here in the 4th. The fans know it. The players know it. A couple of kneel downs, and the Indians are 8A state champions. 1:57 left here in today's ball game. I hope wherever you're listening from, internationally, UK, Canada, back at Joey D's in Venice, you are celebrating right now because this is a team of destiny. This is an unbelievable team from all guys from number 1 to 99. Every single one dedicated to this season, and you got the twos in now, and good to see the twos get in to finish this one off.
That was Wilder on the carry. Watching those offensive linemen. I know a lot of guys, friends of mine, that got some kids on the field right now, and they wanted to see them get on the field for a state championship game, and they're getting to see it. That's cool, really cool.
And we've got an injured blue darter down in the field.
You don't want to see that late in the game. Hopefully he's just got a cramp. They're working him over like it's a cramp, so hopefully that's all it is.
It has been an absolute pleasure to bring you this contest today and each and every game here this season. And we're only getting started here between VSN and Vibrant Aspect Media. We got a lot of plans for the future. So really, we started this last year, but this year was the first full-blown, full-bore broadcast that we've done, and it's only going to get bigger and better.
I agree, and I think because even during the year, they kept on adding stuff. They're like, oh, we got this graphic, and we got instant replay back on, and all this other stuff. I mean, just unbelievable what those guys have done, giving us an opportunity to do this. And people say, oh, it looks so good. I mean, yeah, it looks really good because they do a great job. And we're just putting the soundtrack to it. But they do a fantastic job. And I can't tell you how excited I am moving forward to seeing how this is going to progress. And hopefully you guys can out there in Indian land can enjoy it.
2nd and 9, 1:40 left here.
Wilder again.
And it's Wilder on the carry. Apopka with one timeout left. And I'd imagine, I wouldn't think they'd use it, but
no, they're not.
They're not going to use it. 1:22.
Just got to run a little clock off here, guys, and you take home that state championship. Again, it's special. You don't see it all the time. It's, again, there was talking about a public school. A town like Venice, a small town, median age being what it is, and to be doing this at this level, this amount of talent, this amount of excellence is something to be said. Giving Valentino a chance to run it.
Valentino across the 25. Nice. dragging a defender out to the, or 35, excuse me, to the 32. And you've got 4 seconds in between the play clock, or there 2 seconds in between the play clock. 38 seconds left. It's 4th down.
And Coach is coaching right to the end.
30 seconds left.
I like it. Coach Peacock, he's coaching his twos, man. I don't think Valentino did the right thing, and he's giving him a little earful. But that's what you'd like to see. That's because that's your guy next year, possibly. You know what I mean? And you're going to coach him hard as you coach the guy in the first play of this game. That's the difference, guys. That's the difference.
Last play of the game, Valentino looking to pass, looking for a touchdown in the end zone for Grant Britton. Pass interference as he was looking for Britton.
Yeah, that's cool.
And we do have a flat. The celebration's going already, but we do have 5 seconds left.
Yeah, I get it. Those guys are excited, man. They should be. 20.
So this is where we'll wait the 5 seconds.
35, 49, 51.
Good for Valentino to try and get a score. And again, thanks for those watching. We're going to end this pretty quickly after the game so we can go down and get reactions from the coaches and see the players and get ready to hoist that trophy as your Indians are 5 seconds away. And John, I won't call it until that clock goes to 0-0.
I'm going to say something right here. Cool deal. Coach Peacock declined the penalty. He didn't.
It's the kind of guy he is.
So that's a good deal. So we'll take it as it gets Valentino in the stat line. So that's a cool deal. So that's nice.
Apopka's going to come out for one last play. And those guys are ready to celebrate. Like they say, you play till 0-0. You play to the last whistle.
I know we had a good stat line. I talked about Ryan Brown, but just real quick to give the defense their kudos before we go off the air. 32 carries, 101 yards for Apopka, 1 for 8 passing for -4. That's under 100 yards of offense in a state championship game against a talented team like Apopka. Indians, that's how it was today. It was a dominant performance.
That question was just asked in the chat, actually. So, John, seeing it real quick. 4, 3, 2, 1, and your Venice Indians are the 2021 FHSAA 8A state champions.
That is awesome. Those kids are happy as can be. Those coaches are happy. A lot of Gatorade getting doused. And I'm looking at a state championship. I'll have to take a picture of this, Josh.
This team, this coaching staff, these fans have earned every second of this. What an unbelievable season for your Indians. The trophies coming home to the island of Venice. They were nearly perfect.
It was. And a little bit of our nervousness may have precluded us from being a little bit more celebratory, but now it's out, it's over, and Venice, we're bringing a trophy home. It's awesome.
Thanks to all those for listening all season long. It has been an absolute pleasure to bring you each and every broadcast. For the best color man in the business, John Massoni, I'm Josh Grant, and we'll see you in a little bit, Venice. We will see you. Thank you, Venice. Thank you, Venice. Thank you, Venice. Your Indians are the 8A state champions.